as well as share this live out with a handful of friends. Yo, sweet. Thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat. Saying I would be in the range of medically necessary abortion at any point if that baby had any major issues, even if it was only raised my seizures because I get injured every time I have one. Yeah, Rebecca was just a waste of time. I'm sorry that a lot of you guys had to hear that nonsense, but let's go ahead and hop back into those debates. If you're tuning back in and you are an American adult that is at least 18 years old and you support Trump and you want to come up here and have a conversation with me insofar as why, make sure to let me know down below in that comment section. We'll get you pulled up. Also, if you want to support me on the PP or the CA, if you're catching my drift, you could find them in the BIO, y'all. I get 100% of the proceeds over there. They all go straight to me, as well as I'll be able to give you a shout out because of a notification at the top of my phone screen. Now, let's go and get that very first guest up in the box right now. We got Grayson loading up based upon the emojis and Grayson's names. I'm going to go and assume that Grayson is like maybe 14. Am I right about that assumption?
Yeah, around there.
Wow, I am. Yeah, I'm good at this game. Let me tell you, I've gotten really good, guys. We got to be at least 18. I mean, those are the rules, everybody. Now, especially for you Trump supporters, you claim to be a member of the party of law and order.
You're the most educated person at your age.
Oh, Henry, I appreciate you for your kindness. That is very kind, young man. However, we are just looking to debate American adults. If you happen to be one of the 4,000 people watching and you actually want to debate, go ahead and just let me know down below in that queue by dropping a Maga with your age. We'll get you pulled up here. What's going on, Rod? Is that your name?
What's going on, man?
Oh, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Some of his policies, yes, I do.
So overall, would you say that the country would be better off right now if Kamala Harris was elected, or like overall you're a Trump guy?
I mean, I tend to agree with Trump a little bit more, just not to sound like a sexist, just
Okay. Well, because you brought the sexism up. Now that's a question I'm asking. But why don't you go and take it away? Tell us why you support Trump.
All right, I do support Trump because I live in the state of Texas and immigration is a big factor for the state of Texas, such as Arizona and New Mexico as well. And it do take a lot of jobs for like middle class individuals such as myself. Like when coming for jobs, applying for them, they tend to give it to illegals because they know that illegals will work for less than what the actual qualification for the job is.
Oh, great. Well, if your big issue is the fact that undocumented immigrants get paid lower on average compared to citizens, well, then we could fix that issue by letting the undocumented immigrants stay in this country by merely offering them a pathway to residency or citizenship. They get paid less because they have less bargaining power because they aren't citizens and they aren't residents, so it's easier to exploit them. We can fix that issue and regulate average wages and make the material conditions better for everybody by offering them a pathway to residency or citizenship.
I really tie it to our governor as well because of his standpoint. So not too much on Trump, but also our governor, Abbott. Like,
bro, I'm sorry. I just need a second here. For everybody watching the live, now Cash App is even rejecting incoming donations. So right now we're down on Venmo and we just went down over on Cash App. So if you want to support me, you'll have to support me over on PayPal. Now even Cash App is down, dude. What the fuck? Now take it away.
Okay, so like I said, it's tied into our governor as well. Like Governor Greg Abbott and his policies and the things that he do for our particular state. Like I really felt like it ramped up when Trump became governor because I really feel like he was on a standstill with. But I feel like Governor Abbott was on a standstill when it came to the Biden and Harris administration.
Why are we talking about Abbott? This has nothing to do with what I said. So you told us that you support Trump because of mass deportation. I ask you why you support mass deportation.
Well, not mass You said it's because just for the state of Texas. The state of Texas, I really feel like now I got a better opportunity when it comes to job opportunities.
There's individuals being deported in the state of Texas because of Donald Trump's mass deportation in all 50 states. You can't have one without the other. So if you reject number one, which would be mass deportation, then you reject number two, which is deportations in Texas. And then point number two, you told me that your big issue was lower wages on average for undocumented immigrants. I told you how we could fix that issue without mass deportation, meaning that this doesn't give you direct reason to necessarily support mass deportation.
Okay, that opened my eyes on that. That opened my eyes on that. But I'm just honestly speaking from a middle class individual. I don't know all, the logic or the things of politics, but now I feel like I do have a better chance on getting the type of jobs that like 4 years ago I wasn't getting due to the simple fact of, people out, people that can accept a job lesser than a qualification. So if a job,
Oh.
say, like on Indeed, posting.
All right, we're going to move on to the next guest. The reason why we are going to move on to the next guest is because that was exactly what he said when he joined the live. And he explained the reason why he thinks that is because undocumented immigrants get paid lower wages on average. I then responded to him, and then he was like, okay, Dean, I see it from your perspective. You might be changing my mind. And then he ignored it and then just repeated the original claim. I am not really feeling like I'm in the mood to go in the circles today, so we are going to move on to the next guest. And Rebecca, thanks for the $5 over at PP. Shout out to Rebecca down below that chat. Welcome in, Alex. Do you support Trump?
Oh, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I accidentally hit the request button.
No worries at all, man. Appreciate the honesty. Let's go and load that next guest, Micah. Up in the box, we got Micah loading in right now. And for everybody watching at home on TikTok, guys, make sure that you're double tapping away on the phone screen for me. Let's try to get up to 1 million double taps. Welcome in, Micah. Looks like, oh, there you are. Hi, Micah. Do you support Trump?
Actually, I do not support Trump.
All right, everybody. The rules are the rules. Don't know what to tell you. Got to make sure that you're MAGA. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yes, but
That would be a very young child in which we are going to kick and move on. The rules are the rules. Got to be at least 18. Here we go, everybody. Just really looking for anybody to come up here and have a conversation with me. This is going terribly. Let me tell you. Hi, Fruit Snacks. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Okay, what?
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
2005, what's it called? October 11th.
Don't believe it. We're going to move on to Bear. Here we go, everybody. Do be patient. Make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Welcome in, Bear. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
All right, Bear. What year were you born in?
I was born in 2006.
Okay, what month?
July
What day?
5th.
Okay, so you're just about to turn 19. Happy early
Yeah.
birthday. Hey, take it away, man. Tell us why you support the man, the myth, the failure, Donald Trump.
I feel that I supported him largely due to because I did research for the election. I saw that his foreign policy in his first term was very good, I guess I could say. So I would support him on that.
So you support
but
him
also-
today because of his foreign policy?
Well, that's why I voted for him.
Okay, well, I'm asking you why you support him today.
For him today, largely because I feel that he supports law enforcement.
Yeah, he pardoned people that tried to kill members of the law enforcement, so that's not true.
Well, I mean, I would kind of disagree just because some of the policies that he's done.
You definitely can't disagree with what I just said. No, he literally did pardon 60 people that pled guilty and were criminally convicted of trying to either kill or beat up cops on January 6th. I'll give you the specific names of one of them. Their name is DJ Rodriguez. DJ Rodriguez drove a stun gun into the neck of a cop on J6. It was caught on video, and then he admitted to it to the FBI in his criminal proceedings. He was sentenced to jail for 14 years. He served 3, and then Donald Trump called him a patriot and let him out scotch-free.
So you're saying that that person did attack law enforcement? It's been proven that he attacked law enforcement?
Yeah, not only was it caught on video, the law enforcement officer that he attacked talked about it scot-free, not scotch. Sorry, guys. And then also it was something that he literally pled guilty to. So yeah.
Okay, I can disagree with him doing that, but
But that definitely means that he doesn't support law enforcement. Also, real quick,
No.
Alicia, thank you for the $5 over at Cash App. That $5 was returned to you because Cash App has now shut me down just like Venmo for whatever reason. I do really appreciate you for the love. As well as Dalton with the $2 on Cash App. That $2 has been returned to you for that same reason. If you guys want to support me, my PayPal's in my bio, but the Cash App, it's down again. So God.
I'm trying to find the actual thing that I saw. Hang on, give me 1 second.
Okay, while he's doing whatever his research is, guys, feel free to double tap on that phone screen. I guess we're going to go ahead and get somebody up here to debate with him. Everybody, just kind of be patient here. Y'all, welcome in. Ryan, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I am 19.
You're 19. What year were you born in?
2006.
Really, what month?
January.
Phenomenal. You are 19. Okay, Mr. Ryan, would you consider yourself a patriot?
I would think so.
Do patriots support core American values?
Yes, I do.
Is the Constitution a core American value?
I would think so, yes. Yes.
If you heard me say, I think that we should abolish all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, would you say I support the Constitution?
Wait, sorry, my phone is lagging. What did you say?
If you heard me say that I want to abolish all
you
rules,
repeat what you
regulations, if you heard me say that I want to abolish all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, would you say I support the Constitution?
No.
And for that reason, I'm not a patriot.
Yeah.
If I was to ever run for any public office, would you support me, or would you say, no, I'm not going to support him because he doesn't support core American values and he's not a patriot?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Well, just replace me with Trump because that's what Trump did. Donald Trump explicitly called for the termination of, quote unquote, all rules and regulations and articles, even those found in the Constitution. This was in a Truth Social post in December of 2022. From all that we know so far, this would mean he doesn't support the Constitution, which would mean he's not a patriot, which would mean you'd never vote or support him if he ran for a public office. Now, maybe you didn't know this before. This is new information to you. Maybe the right way for me to propose this question is just simply ask you, now that you know these things to be true, do you now revoke your support of Trump because he's an anti-American non-patriot that stands in opposition of our country's core values, such as the Constitution?
Well, I think it's I'm a new voter, as you know, and I feel like it's more nuanced than that, because I feel like what he's done, like overseas, I've supported what he's done overseas, but
Right. So this is hypocrisy. It is. Let's make that incredibly clear, Ryan. I asked you if I did this, would you ever support me running for any public office? And you said no.
Yeah, I did.
Right. So the only non-hypocritical adjacent response as it relates to Trump, because he's actually done these things, is for you to say that you no longer support Trump. I mean, now, if you want to continue to make an argument, feel free to take it away, but I just want that point of hypocrisy to be incredibly clear.
Yeah, I'm not a full-fledged supporter of him, though. That's the thing. Like, I just agree with a majority of what he has said.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's typically what individuals will do when they're in your position. They will shift the goalpost from saying this would be a red line you'd hold against the candidate to saying, well, this is just one of the things about him that you wouldn't support. That is still, like, still mental gymnastics, but let's set it aside. Okay, what has Trump done that you like?
I completely agree with what he did with Iran.
Really? So you support us, jumping as high as Israel wanted us to, dropping bombs on some of their nuclear enrichment sites, even though they had been evacuated. And now we have no clue how much enriched uranium they have because that sparked the Iranian parliament from pulling out from the IAEA, giving them oversight into their enrichment levels. So now we don't know where they're at with their nuclear development. But we do know, according to early U.S. intelligence, that we only set them back by a number of months. And it obviously didn't end any conflict because although Donald Trump boasted a ceasefire, he also said that both countries had violated it. What was the pros gained out of such a unnecessary conflict?
Well, I did not know that they had still been breaking the ceasefire. I thought ever since that first day after they had sustained the ceasefire.
So according to Trump, both countries have violated both countries have violated it. And honestly, I think if Donald Trump wasn't elected and Kamala Harris was president, Israel never would have struck Iran to begin with.
Well, yeah, I don't agree with just doing whatever Israel wants.
So then he didn't agree with us bombing Iran because that's the only reason why we did it. It's because Israel asked us to.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. But I feel like I feel like Iran should not have nuclear weapons either way, even if Israel didn't ask us to.
Yeah, okay, but we didn't stop them from having nukes. In fact, we just made it harder for our government to determine if they have nukes or not, because us striking those facilities caused them to revoke oversight from the IAEA, which was a nuclear watchdog that was tracking their uranium enrichment levels. After we struck them, they removed access from the IAEA to do so. So now we have no clue.
Are we sure that they removed everything from the sites?
Are we sure that they removed everything from the sites? Yeah, early U.S. intelligence report suggests that we only set them back by a matter of months.
Well, I did not know that. I thought we had destroyed their sites and everything in them. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any other reasons why you support Trump?
I think immigration. I support his immigration.
Okay. Why? Let me guess. Undocumented immigrants broke the law.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I have a question. If there was a legal immigrant trying to come in through a legal port of entry and Border Patrol had figured out that they had been held civilly liable for raping a woman, do you think that they should be allowed entry into America, or should they be turned around at the gate?
Well, they're not civic. I mean, you're not convicted though. It's civilly liable. You're not
Right? That's what I said.
convicted of it.
So if there was a legal immigrant that had been held civilly liable for something like the rape of an adult woman, or even like child rape, do you think that they should like be legally admitted into this country?
I mean, as long as you're not convicted of anything, I feel like you should be allowed to come in.
So look at this, guys. If you're an undocumented immigrant that only entered into this country with the use of undocumented means because the legal means weren't attainable because their government has been using them as a political pawn since the 90s, and the only reason you're here illegally, quote unquote, is to create a better life for you and your families, to contribute to the GDP and to pay taxes, and you're just a good, hardworking person, you need to get the boot sent to a center for terrorists in El Salvador. But guess what? If you find yourself to a legal port of entry, it doesn't matter if you're a rapist, come right on in. That's incredibly insane. I think that the very obvious approach / response from anybody with half of a brain here would be to say, if you've been held civilly liable for child rape and you try to come into this country illegally, that you should be turned around and denied entry.
I mean, I agree with that one.
Yeah. I mean, I figured. I mean, as long as you're not convicted of anything, maybe I'm and like, I don't. I guess I don't know what the term civilly liable means.
Oh, yeah,
then.
it's true. It means found guilty by a jury in a civil court. A conviction is found guilty by a jury in a criminal court.
So the civilly liable just means what? Like
It means you're found guilty of doing something, and
Okay.
you are being held financially responsible.
okay. So did he ever pay Eugene Carroll?
Who's Eugene Carroll? I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. You mean Eugene Carroll, right?
Yeah, Eugene Carroll,
We're
sorry.
not talking about Eugene Carroll right now. We're actually just talking about an immigrant that's trying to come into America through a legal port of entry that's been held civilly liable for the rape of a woman.
Okay, well-
should they
well,
be
knowing
allowed
that-
entry or denied entry?
Well, knowing that now, no.
Okay, no, so they shouldn't. So I
Yeah.
want to make this clear. If you're held civilly liable for rape, you shouldn't even be able to come into this country. But apparently, if you're a rich man from New York, you should be allowed to run the country. See, from my perspective, that screams hypocrisy.
That does. I completely agree.
And we should try to get rid of hypocrisy, especially on subjects that matter so much. We need to remember that hypocrisy regarding maybe you're telling your friend that you don't like avocado, but then every morning you eat avocado toast. It's pretty inconsequential hypocrisy, so who really cares? But when you sit here and you tell us that you don't think that somebody held civilly liable for rape should be allowed to come into the country, but then you vote somebody held civilly liable for rape into the Oval Office of the White House, that is hypocrisy that has incredibly negative effects on the country. It emboldens grape culture. It allows the social permissibility of more harm towards women. It greenlights more men going out and doing those shitty things. That is hypocrisy that we should really care about and really try to avoid.
I completely agree.
And what would be the way we avoid that hypocrisy?
Not letting him run.
Spot on. So that's why I'm not a Trump supporter, at least one of the many reasons. How do you feel?
I feel like my opinion has shifted a little bit on certain things, and I mean, I feel like you shouldn't. I mean, on politicians, I don't think you should use their character as like complete on why you don't like them completely. You understand what I'm saying?
Honestly, I think it's totally valid. So I have about 1,000,000,001 reasons why I don't like Trump. But if there's somebody out there that says they don't support him because he's a rapist, I look at them and I say that's valid as hell. Okay, all right. And honestly, I don't know why this messaging has been promoted in society that's invalid. Because for forever, somebody's character was enough reason to deny them a job at McDonald's making $15 an hour. You know what I mean? If you're a felon, you're out of there. You can't get the job. So if character is a valid concern for a minimum wage job, why isn't it a valid concern for the most consequential job any human alive can hold?
I just feel like their policies should matter more. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like their policies should matter more than who they are as a person.
Well, the characters influence the policy. Then we also need to keep in mind the social ramifications of acceptance of one's character and how that could hurt this country just like policy. But even if you want to talk about his policies are trash. Like right now, the Senate is doing a vote on the big, beautiful bill, which is single-handedly the most costly bill in American history. Like it's gonna cost $4 trillion, dude. It's also gonna kick 12 million people off of Medicaid. It's going to defund hospitals in rural areas by upwards of 50%. So all of a sudden, individuals in those rural areas are getting worse care, and there's a slowed advancement on things such as cancer research. Okay, it's also gonna cut SNAP benefits by $300 billion. So it's gonna strip food aid from 7 to 14 million vulnerable households. And then they're also introducing really strict new work requirements that threaten to exclude veterans, homeless individuals, and foster youth from being eligible for these benefits. And meanwhile, this is all at the fact that the top 20% of income earners in this country are going to be better off. And the top 1% specifically could be seeing hundreds of thousands in new tax breaks. Meanwhile, the average American is being kicked to the curb for the reasons I just described. And I mean, that's not everything. It's also undermining clean energy incentives. It's sunsetting the IRA credits, adding taxes on wind and solar. And this could potentially slash our new clean energy capacities by upwards of 72%. And we have to keep in mind that those clean energy capacities do help, fund the energy grid, quote unquote. And that's estimated to drive up energy costs for the average household by around $400 per year. This is the policy of the rapist.
That does not sound the best when you put it that way.
It is so bad that it literally caused 2 Republican congressmen to resign. It's that bad.
Well, so I guess I was not knowledgeable on that stuff. So my main thing, so I'm a waiter, right? And the no tax on tips would really help me individually. So that is another thing.
Unfortunately, when we consider the total impact of the bill, you're still served to a detriment. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, unless you make more than $130K per year after tax, your after-tax income per year is reduced.
Dang.
Ryan.
Looks like somebody's coming for you, Ryan.
Thank you for talking to me.
Appreciate you for the conversation, man. Appreciate you for the conversation. Well, welcome back, Bear. Now,
thank you.
Now, real quick before we hop back into our debate, I have a handful of people to thank you. First and foremost, Jennifer. Jennifer, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Jennifer says, thank you for everything that you do. Love from Sweden. Jennifer, thank you so much. Guys, let's show some love to Jennifer down below. I want to see 500 Jennifer W's down below in that chat right now. Thank you so much for your kindness. It goes a really long way, Jennifer. Thank you. As well as Darren, thank you for the $20 $10 over on PayPal, saying donation. Thank you so much for the love, Darren. Show some love to Darren down below. And also Sam with a $15 saying, I listen every day at work. That's awesome. Thank you, Sam. Show some love to Jennifer, Sam, and Darren, as well as Alicia, Myra, and Cheyenne with a $5 over on PayPal. And then, dude, Queen Sid, thank you so much for the for the $75 donation over on PayPal. Sid, that is outrageous. Sid says, hi, Dean. The clips from Aspen looked awesome. I'm very proud of all that you've accomplished. Very deserved. Sid, that is seriously so incredibly kind of you. Thank you, Sid. I had a lot of fun up in Aspen. It was an incredibly awesome time. And thank you for watching the clips. And thank you for your love and support. Once again, let's get 500 W's for Jennifer. Show some love to Darren and Sam. And make sure to spam some W Sids down below in that chat for the love, as well as Tim with the $20 donation over on YouTube Super Chat. And then one last one here. NAFI, Nafi, thank you for the $1 over on Cash App 13 minutes ago. So that donation was refunded to you because Cash App has kicked me out, just like Venmo. Don't know why. Maybe Trump is cracking down and he's saying, fuck you, Dean Withers. I'm going to be conspiracy theorist as it relates to that you can trust. So if you do want to support me right now, the only available avenue would be PayPal, which you could find in the BIO. But take it away, Mr. Bear. Why do you support Trump?
Alrighty, so I initially said because of like his support of law enforcement, but I also said that looking at his foreign policy in his first term, I definitely was like, okay, he's definitely better on the foreign policy front.
I don't even think he had any major foreign policy accomplishments in his first term. But even if he did, obviously something happened in the last 4 years that has made him go from foreign policy expert to foreign policy idiot. I mean, in the last 160 days, he hasn't been able to achieve a single signed trade agreement with any other country. He gave up negotiating with Canada, even though they're considered the friendliest country on earth, and they're our northern neighbor. And on top of that, I mean, look at what he did to Iran. I went over the reasons with Ryan why that was a hellhole. There's not a single global conflict that has gotten better in the last 160 days. Ukraine and Russia is only worse. Israel and Palestine is only worse. I think that at some point we do need to recognize that he's just incompetent.
I mean, you wouldn't say that his talks with North Korea and getting them to shut down their nuclear tests in his first term wasn't a good thing?
Would have been a good thing if he was able to do it, but he wasn't. He met with him in July of 2019, and he signed that agreement with them to get them to stop their missile testing. They violated that agreement and resumed their missile testing less than 3 months later in August of 2019.
That's not what I saw, but I'll believe you on that one. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I mean, like, he also did, like, he definitely...
Wait, this just in, Sasha with a $10 over on PayPal. I'm hearing that the BBB, the Big Beautiful Bill, did not pass, everybody. We're going to go ahead and check this right now, y'all.
I'm pretty sure it's because people in your chat were spamming that it passed.
Let's see here. Well, we'll be able to tell because there's going to be live breaking news right now. Now, nobody take my word for it quite yet because that's, once again, just a message and a donation. But let's go ahead and check AP. AP, no updates from AP yet. No updates from AP yet. So, because we don't have any updates from AP yet, I'm going to consider that a false flag, everybody. I'm going to consider that a false flag, everybody. Unfortunately, we don't know if the BBB is going to pass or not quite yet. Continue.
So going back to like my first original point, which was like his law enforcement, like his support of law enforcement, the executive order strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens. That one.
What did it do?
Well, it protected police officers from, like, it gave them better legal access because...
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, like police officers need that. Yeah, what specific additional legal protections did it give to cops?
Let me look right here.
Oh, no. Because, see, on the surface level, that sounds like a terrible idea.
It really doesn't. The Attorney General shall take all appropriate action to create a mechanism to provide legal resources and indemnification to law enforcement officers who unjustly incur expenses and liabilities for actions taken during the performance of their official duties to enforce the law. This mechanism shall include the use of private sector pro bono assistance for such law enforcement officers.
Okay, so it's just telling like the AG to try to give better legal resources to cops that are sued.
Yeah, and you don't think that's a good idea?
I don't think that cops who do anything bad in the line of duty should have access to better legal resources than any citizen. Okay, right? Because they already have significantly more legal protections than any citizen. If a cop turns off, their body cam and shoots somebody, there's many scenarios across the country where it hasn't landed them in jail, just gotten fired from their job, and then they go work at another department. So the system's already corrupt as is. And now you're telling me that they need special access to high quality lawyers for free which is just another legal service / protection that they have access to that the average citizen doesn't. I'm not sure I support that. I think that they should be reliant upon, free attorneys provided to them by the city in the case that they can't pay for one themselves the same way any private citizen would be.
I mean, I disagree because I feel like there is, like, I know that the media portray, like, they just show, like, the really bad side of police officers, but I also think that there's a lot of cases where citizens file, like, false claims against police officers. And I can't think of the actual case off the top of my head, but there was one where, like...
Well, isn't there unions for that? There's unions to get them better legal resources. Plus, they might plus a judge is going to have a bias for them. Like, they're known in the city legal system. They already have so many benefits. Like, I think that they already have access to better resources. That's what the unions are for. Okay, private citizens don't unionize to get free pro bono $1 million lawyers as is. I mean, I get what you're saying, man. It's just like I don't think that cops don't need that. I just think that's going to further empower corruption.
I mean, I disagree with that because I feel like I was saying, is that there is a higher level of false reports by citizens of police brutality than there is of like true ones. I'm not saying that the true ones don't happen.
But then they get their day in court. They get a lawyer paid for by their union, and the judge has a bias for the law enforcement officer because they're a judge of a court. I think that's all they need. Okay, I don't think that they need additional references from the country's AG to give them $1 million lawyers for free. That's completely insane.
I mean, I feel like when it comes down to like, should they be given better legal measures? Yes, and I think that like sometimes unions.
Wait, I have a question. Would you support like a similar executive order in this country, specifically directing the AG to provide better pro bono legal services to Black Americans arrested for maybe like a certain subset of crimes in which are significantly over policed and which has been demonstrably proven via the fact that although Black individuals account for 13% of our population, they also account for 45% of all criminal exonerations? Because your logic to kind of justify your idea there that cops should have these pro bono resources is the idea that you think they're at a higher likelihood than the average, private citizen to be falsely accused. Okay, well, so are Black Americans. So would you support an executive order that did the same thing specifically for Black Americans?
I think that that's kind of like a bad example to use because everyone has access to a lawyer whether they like have the funds or not. All that this order is saying is to provide like more legal access for cops. I'm not saying
right. Better access to pro bono lawyers. Okay, what's pro bono lawyer work? That means free work from people that usually charge a shit ton of money. But no, answer my question. Would you be okay with an executive order that directed the AG to amplify like high quality lawyers doing more pro bono work specifically for Black Americans since they're at a higher likelihood of being falsely accused / arrested?
I would support it for all Americans. I don't think that one race should get better treatment over others.
Okay, well then why should one job get better treatment than others?
Because cops are constantly like under attack. Like if you
cops are more likely to be attacked with a false allegation compared to the average private citizen. So are Black Americans.
Where's your statistic on that? Because
the fact that they account for 13% of the population, yet 45% of exonerations.
Okay, so you're saying that like we should provide better legal services for just Black Americans and
Yep.
not for anybody else?
Yeah, obviously, because according to your logic, right? I mean, they're more likely to be falsely accused of a crime, and that was your logic to justify giving those same services to cops.
Okay, but that's not the same thing because a cop is trying to do their job, and if you actually
Oh,
look,
well, when you say, well, it's not the same thing because a cop's trying to
can
do
you
their
let me
job.
talk, bro?
Oh,
Jeez.
yeah, for sure. I'm jumping the gun, man. Go ahead.
Thank you. Because I feel like recently with the media portraying a lot of like the negative side of policing, I think that actually it's been proven that cops have gotten a higher show of violence from people just for trying to do their job. So yes, I do think that when cops have to do their job,
just like black individuals in this country are more likely to experience violence themselves at the hands of police officers, or just be accused and arrested for a crime for simply being black.
that doesn't happen.
It does
I'm so
happen. They account for 13% of the population and 45% of criminal exonerations. Why is that?
So you're telling me that cops just go to different neighborhoods, pick up a black person, say you've committed a crime, go to jail?
They're significantly more likely to do that compared to doing the same as it relates to white Americans.
That is not true.
Then why do black Americans account for 13% of the population and 44% of criminal exonerations? Explain that one to me.
I mean, I don't have the actual statistic put up in front of me, but I'm not going to say.
Explain the statistic. It's they're more likely to be falsely accused. Why?
They're not more likely to be falsely accused.
Okay, that is necessarily true in virtue of the fact that they account for a broad, disproportionate amount of criminal exonerations. Like, it cannot be true that they're not more likely to be falsely accused and more likely to be exonerated. Because that higher likelihood to be exonerated literally means that they were falsely accused. And because there's a higher likelihood of exoneration, that means that there's a higher likelihood of a false accusation. Like, what do you think an exoneration is, man? Tell me.
I mean, it's usually when you're like acquitted of all charges, is it not?
Right. And if you're arrested and charged with a crime then acquitted of false charges, that means what? You were falsely accused.
Well, I think that you can't judge it just based on race because I feel like.
Okay, so then why can't you judge it based on job?
Can you let me talk for like more than 5 seconds before cutting me off, please?
Yeah, bro, I'm sorry. I'm just cooking so hard. It's hard for me to hold back, but I got you.
Okay.
Also, real quick, I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off real quick. DD, thank you for the $10 over on Cash App. Now that over on CA, now that $10 was just returned to you because CA has limited me. If you would like to support me with that $10, you can find my PayPal in my bio. If not, no worries. Same thing for Karion. Thank you for the $5 over on Cash App. Now that $5 was once again also returned to you because CA has limited me. If you'd still like to support me with that $5, you can support me over on PayPal. If not, no worries. Jesus Christ, dude. They hate me. They hate me. They hate me. As well as Farah, thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love, Farah. That is Farah. Thank you so much for the $25. Let's show some love to Farah down below in the comment section. Farah says, keep doing what you are doing. Thank you so much. Show some love to Farah down below. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As well as Evita with a $1 in CA. Once again, it was returned to you because CA has limited me. Take it away.
All right, so, I mean, I'm not saying that in history, like, racial discrimination hasn't happened. I'm saying it is less likely to happen now than it was in the past. That is what my claim is that I would argue that it's not about race. It's more about culture. I would argue that point.
I want you to repeat that for me because I want to have a very clear idea of what your argument is. So here's my position. You're telling us that you think that cops should have access to better pro bono legal services since you believe they're more likely to be falsely accused of a crime, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So my counter argument to this is to demonstrate your hypocrisy by asking you that same question as it relates to Black Americans. The question was, would you support the AG directing more pro bono resources to Black Americans because they are definitely more likely to be falsely accused of a crime? And that was the one motivating reason you gave behind supporting the same thing for police officers. And you said no. So once again, I want you to explain why you answered yes in one scenario, but no in the other, keeping in mind that according to you, in both scenarios, both of these demographics, cops and Black Americans, are more likely to be falsely accused of a crime. Tell me why that's not hypocritical.
because I don't. Um, I would disagree with the fact. Like, I know that you have a statistic that they're more likely to be like exonerated and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But nowadays, I would disagree with the claim that they are like Black Americans are more likely to be falsely accused because
Okay.
they're so.
I have a clarifying question.
All right.
How can they be significantly more likely to be exonerated, but not significantly more likely to be falsely accused? Keeping in mind that an exoneration hinges on a false accusation.
Not always.
Go ahead
Because
and give
it
us an
could.
example of how somebody could be exonerated for a crime without being falsely accused.
I mean, there could be a lack of evidence. Like, there could be like they don't have enough evidence. Like that kind of stuff can get someone exonerated or acquitted based on the like severity of the trial.
Then that would amount to a legal false accusation. Because keep in mind, when we're using the phrase false accusation, we're saying that the police officer didn't possess sufficient evidence in order to make in order to deem probable cause for an arrest. Okay, and then you just gave me an example of an exoneration without a false accusation, being that of where a police officer didn't have sufficient evidence of probable cause to make an arrest. So you actually just gave me an example of an exoneration being entailed from a legal false accusation.
No, no, no. So what I'm saying is that I honestly like I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but there are cases where cops have arrested someone with probable cause or exigent circumstances. They have arrested the person, but then been unable to like collect the right amount of evidence, and that person's lawyer got it thrown out in court.
Okay,
I
and
don't have.
they got them exonerated even though they're actually guilty. What do you think the
Yes.
likelihood of that is?
I mean, I would say it's like a 50-50% because
You think
there
that
is
50% of people that are exonerated in court are actually guilty?
yeah.
That's outrageous. But even if I accept that, Black Americans are still more likely to be falsely accused. 13% of the population accounts for 45% of exonerations. If we believe the baseless lies that you're spewing, and 50% of those are actually guilty people being let off, this just means that 13% of the population accounts for 21% of true exonerations. Wait. No, they wouldn't. They'd still count for 43 because every other racial demographic would still be at that same likelihood of being let off and exonerated for a crime that they committed. So assuming that all exonerations would include 50% of people still being guilty, well, then it is the case that accounting for all guilty individuals and who were exonerated of all racial demographics, then Black Americans would still account for 43% of true exonerations. Get outstatted, motherfucker.
Okay, so I have a question for you. I know that there's a statistic out there, but I
No,
want to
no,
know.
no, no. Respond to that. Get outstatted. Okay. Yeah. There's going to be some amount of people that are exonerated for a crime
No, 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 no.
that were
I'm not
actually
talk-
guilty. But that's
I'm
going to
not
be true
talking
of
about
all
that
racial
statistic.
demographics. Therefore, Black Americans would still account for 43% of true exonerations via a false allegation, unless you would be able to suggest any data to me that shows a Black American is more likely to be let off of a crime they committed through a criminal exoneration. However, on the inverse, right, there's been studies after studies after studies after studies that have demonstrated that juries hold racial biases, and which would yield the conclusion that they're less likely to be exonerated on the basis of a false accusation compared to other racial demographics. Thereby, the stat that you're bringing up would mean that although Black Americans account for 43% of all exonerations, they'd likely account for a high percent of true exonerations. So a lower percent of true exonerations.
I wasn't even going to bring up that statistic. I was going to ask you, what is the statistic of like Black Americans in prison or have been convicted? Do you know that statistic?
How many Black Americans are in prison? I don't see how that statistic is relevant to my argument at all.
No, 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 no.
Because
you
like you trying to bring up how many Black Americans are in prison is absolutely nothing to do with the amount of false accusations that are made against Black Americans, and which is disproportionate to those made against members of any other race as it relates to their exoneration rates.
No, no, no. What I'm saying is, okay, so I just saw someone in the comments say, like, what did I mean about culture? I would say that,
Yeah, please go ahead and explain to me how police officers falsely accusing Black Americans at higher rates has to do with the culture of Black Americans. I cannot wait for you to find a way to blame racism on Black people.
I'm not blaming racism at all. What I'm
Let's
trying to
see.
do is say that like a lot of the time black Americans are given like the short leg of like the system. They're put in low income neighborhoods. They are over policed. I will agree with that point 100%. So, gosh, I actually need to pull up these statistics, but there is a statistic out there that I think it's like black Americans represent like 26% of total arrests and like 50% of murder and 50% of like robbery arrests. So I think that they're put in the situation to do that. So I don't think it's an issue of race. I think it's an issue of culture and how they're treated by the system.
When you say it's an issue of culture, are you saying that it's an issue of the culture of Black Americans or an issue of the racist culture of America?
The racist culture of America is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Okay. Well, I need to make it incredibly clear, right, that it is the case that most times people will reference culture and crime rates of Black Americans. Like 9 out of 10 times, it's just a racist argument. But the reason I asked you that clarifying question was trying to determine, like, what culture you were referring to. Now, you're saying that you're referring to the overall culture of the country, holding said power dynamics, and which give the short end of the stick to Black Americans via systemic racism and differences in socioeconomic conditions, consequential of systemic racism, lack of generational wealth when compared to white Americans caused by slavery and its aftermath. So all that you're telling us here is that the reason that Black Americans are more likely to be falsely accused is because of racism. Because why do you think why do you think that Black Americans are more likely to be and live in lower socioeconomic conditions compared to white Americans on average?
I mean, I don't know why, but
I can tell you because of systemic racism. That's obvious. Okay, slavery and its aftermath. A lack of generational wealth compared to white Americans, as I just detailed. I mean, these are all reasons. Like they've only had, for the most part, the same legal protections as white Americans for the last 60 years. Like these are all factors in which would generate lower socioeconomic standards on average for Black Americans. But I mean, if like the summation of your claim as well, like the reason that they're over arrest is because of like the lower socioeconomic conditions on average. I just gave you an argument to demonstrate that it's still related to their race and the racism that they've experienced behest of the American government and the American people. But I mean, I'll just reframe my, you know what, why don't you go ahead and respond to that?
I mean, I was trying to finish a thought process, then you cut me off. So that's why I'm going to finish my thought process. And then if you could repeat your question, that would be very so what I was trying to say is that, because you're talking about systemic racism, can you tell me something that you or I could do as white men that a Black person cannot do, please?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about one this entire fucking time. The average white American is less likely to get arrested and charged with a crime that they didn't commit compared to the average Black American. We literally just discussed one. We've been discussing one this whole time.
Okay. So you're telling me that even if there's like a slight chance that I may be guilty, I won't be arrested just because I'm white? That's your logic right now.
So, I mean, my logic is incredibly clear. It is a fact that the average white American is less likely to be falsely accused and arrested compared to the average Black American. Yes, that is it. That is absolutely a fact. And we've been talking about why that's a fact the whole time you've been on this live. Ultimately, the explanation on why that's a fact relates back to the exoneration rates, in which we've already described. And the reason why those exoneration rates persist ultimately is caused by systemic racism, as we've also gone over twice. Yes.
So you think that, okay, I actually have the statistic pulled up here. So it says Black Americans have represent 26.6% of total arrests, including 51 of murder, 52 of robbery, 28 of burglary, 28 of motor vehicle theft arrests, 42% of prostitution, and 26% of drug arrest. So you're telling me that like most of those were falsely accused?
I'm telling you that out of those arrests, they're more likely to be false compared to the same arrests against white Americans.
I mean, I can disagree because if you
you can't disagree with that, or else your hypothesis would be demonstrated within the exoneration data, in which it's not. The exoneration data would contradict your hypothesis.
So can you give me that statistic again of how many were exonerated, please?
Yeah, so 45% of exonerations in the American criminal justice system are for Black Americans.
Okay, but 37% are incarcerated. 13% of the population, 37% of the incarcerated
Yeah, the amount of black
amount
Americans
of.
ultimately incarcerated doesn't change the fact that they still account for a disproportionate amount of exonerations. This is really easy to understand.
Okay, but my thing is that you can't say that it is like only black Americans that are given the short end of the stick when it comes to the criminal justice system.
Okay, could you repeat my original claim?
I mean, you've had so many. What was the original one?
That the average white American is less likely to be falsely accused and arrested of a crime compared to the average black American. This whole time, your only debate tactic has been to change my claim, respond to my claim without changing it.
So your claim is that white people are less likely to be arrested and falsely accused of a crime, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look up the thing right now that I can.
This whole time, you've just been changing what I've been saying.
No. I'm actually about to respond to what you said. If you would let me
Great,
look it up.
fucking finally. Holy shit, dude. Great.
Okay.
While
So
you're doing that, real quick, Alexandria, 11 minutes ago with the $25 over on PayPal. Thank you for the $25, Alexandra. Alexandra says, I guess obviously doesn't know what exoneration is. Either that or their racism / bias is so blatant it's leaving horrible taste in my mouth. Yeah, thank you for the $25, Alexandra. Let's get at least 250 Alexandria W's down below. Then also Haley with the $10 saying, if we are using, let's see what Haley said here with the $10. Haley says, if we are using his logic, talk about the amount of black people who go straight to prison and do not get a chance to go to treatment like white people, like the differences in the levels of due process granted. I'd have to look at the statistics on that. I don't think I'm informed enough to talk about that, but that is a good point that I'll have to look into. As well as Priscilla, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. Show some love to Priscilla down below in that comment section. As well as Andrew, thank you so much for the $10 as well. Thank you, Andrew. And as well as Katie, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. That is incredibly kind of you. Good.
So, if you look, like, there's not a specific number for overall, like, exonerations for white people, but it does break it down in drug, murder, and racial disparities in, like, the exoneration rate. So, in drug crimes, 16% of the exonerated individuals were white, while black individuals accounted for a disproportionately high 69%. Murder convictions, white individuals comprised 32% of murder exonerations. So, like, you can say that black Americans are more likely to be falsely accused of crimes, but you can't just say that, like, it doesn't happen to another race.
Wait, do I think that other races are also more likely to be falsely accused of crimes related to black Americans? Related to white Americans? Sorry, not black Americans. Related to white Americans? Yeah. Okay. I do. I do also think that. Right? But my claim is specifically about black Americans. The reason why my claim is specifically about black Americans is because A, it's the most dramatic example of disproportionate exoneration statistics, and B, it is a one-to-one comparison upon your original claim that we need an executive order to give better legal reassurances specifically to cops because they're more likely to be falsely accused of a crime. Okay?
Yes.
Like, can we agree that cops aren't the only people that are more likely to be falsely accused of a crime?
I mean, I can agree with that, yeah.
Okay. But your big critique of an executive order as it relates to giving free legal assurances to black Americans is because they're not the only race that's more likely to be falsely accused of the crime. Can I just say the same thing to you? Well, cops aren't the only people that are more likely to be falsely accused of a crime, thereby an executive order specific to cops as it relates to providing them with free legal assurances would be wrong?
I mean, I feel like normal average like civilians aren't as like if they get accused of something, they're not going to have like people outside of the courthouse where they are rioting and like threatening to kill said person. But with police officers, that's different. So yes, in that situation, I do believe that cops should be given better legal care because they're a police officer and because of how the media the last couple of years has portrayed cops, they are under like they're a higher percentage chance of having violence shown against them when they are accused of something. No matter what the facts are, they are more likely to be attacked because of those accusations. So yes, I do believe they should be given better legal care.
So what's your very specific claim to make a difference between the executive order that I'm purporting and the executive order that you're purporting? I don't understand your claim. Because now you're just going right back to the base that they're more likely to be falsely accused or attacked. Once again, so are Black Americans, but you don't support the EO for Black Americans, so you're another hypocrite. And we haven't made any movement or progression on this claim in the last 30 minutes because you're such a raging hypocrite that you cannot even see how your logic can be applied in other circumstances. And it's all about how the media has portrayed cops, dude. Think about how, like, right now, like, the media is portraying Black Americans, but I also want to specifically talk about Muslim Americans relating to maybe Zohran Mamdani in New York. We have seen crazy levels of Islamophobia in the American media right now, specifically because of Zohran Mamdani's win in New York. He's been relentlessly attacked all over social media. He's been relentlessly attacked, even by like institutions on the right and in the left. So is Kash Patel. He's Middle Eastern. So you're just giving another example of what I'm saying and how it's true. So I mean, once again, if you want to talk about the media attacking people, making it more likely that they're going to have violence brought in against them or being falsely accused of a crime, well, then would you support a same EO for Muslim Americans?
Like I said before, and I feel like this is a very good argument, is that I wouldn't say, oh, one race gets better legal.
So one race shouldn't get better legal protections than another race, even if they're more likely to be falsely accused or have violence used against them. So thereby, one job shouldn't get better legal protections than another job, even if it's more likely to bring more violence or more false accusations against them.
And I've said this, I don't know how many times throughout the past, I don't know how long we've been talking, everyone should have access to more pro bono, higher quality law help. Like, I 1000% agree with that. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is everybody deserves these same services. So you support an executive order giving it to one demographic that constitutes a part of everybody.
No, I'm not saying give it to a specific demographic. I'm saying...
wait, but the EO does give it to the specific demographic of police officers. So then you don't support the EO.
No, if you would like let me talk for 5 seconds without interrupting.
Sorry, bro, you're just fucking glitching because I'm breaking your brain.
No, I'm not glitching at all. You're not breaking my brain at all.
I'm absolutely breaking your brain. You haven't made any movement.
There you go, interrupting again, because you won't let me talk and make a point. And the second I try to make a point, you interrupt me. So let's just...
Poor bear. I'm sorry, man. Take it away.
So, anyway, if you think that, like, we shouldn't give higher quality law help to police officers, but we should give it to certain demographics of people, then that in itself is hypocritical, because if you want everyone to be equal, everyone should have equal access to higher quality.
You just literally shit on your own argument. You said if you think that if you think these legal services should be given specifically to Black Americans, but not also specifically to cops, then you're a hypocrite. What's the inverse of this claim? If you think that these legal protections should be specifically offered to cops, but not specifically to Black Americans, then you're a hypocrite. That's the inverse of the claim. Do you affirm that's the inverse of the claim?
No, what I'm trying to say...
You don't affirm that's the inverse of the claim?
Oh my gosh.
You can't even track logic. How can you even say no there? How can you say that if you want these legal services provided to Black Americans but not cops, you're hypocrites, but if you want them provided to cops but not Black Americans, you're a hypocrite? You're not a hypocrite. Okay, well, if you're not a hypocrite, if you want the services given to cops but not Black Americans, then how are you a hypocrite if you want it given to Black Americans but not cops? Go ahead, I'm mute. Yeah, it's just fucking making no sense.
You muted me.
Yeah, please go ahead and answer my question.
Okay, what I was saying, I don't know why I was muted, but I was. What I was saying is that I would support an executive order giving higher quality law, like access to people, but I wouldn't support it for one demographic. The reason that I'm supporting it for cops is because...
That's one demographic!
Can you let me finish for 5 seconds?
Yes, I'll let you contradict yourself in 5 seconds.
I'm not contradicting myself. I said I supported that claim because cops have a higher likely show of violence when they're falsely accused of something. So at the moment, yes, they do deserve it more than like a certain demographic of people. But would I support an executive order saying absolutely give it to everybody? Yes.
Bro,
I
you were
would.
literally telling me that you support the EO for a certain demographic of people because of a higher level of violence and false accusations brought against them. But then the moment I give you another example of another demographic of people that have a higher level of violence and false accusations brought against them, you call it unfair and wrong. Do you see how you have no logical faculties in your brain here? I can't even make this up. You call me a hypocrite for saying that, well, these services should be offered to one specific demographic, but then you turn around and you say that you actually support these services being offered to one specific demographic because of a higher likelihood of these outcomes. But then you'll say it to other demographics that you don't support an executive order related to other demographics, even though of the higher likelihoods of these outcomes. This is a very clear, very explicit, very easy to track and acknowledge why it's a contradiction. Like this is getting absolutely outrageous at this point. You can't make it up. Your logical faculties aren't there. Your faculties of reason aren't there. You've been walked down into a contradiction, and you can't even see it. You're embarrassing yourself in front of everybody. Like I can't even make this up.
No, so what I was saying, and I think that I may have said this the wrong way, but it's what I meant to say in the beginning, is that do I support it for law enforcement? Yes. Would I support it for everybody else? Yes. I'm not saying, like, I hope, and I very well do hope, that eventually it would be a thing where, like, everyone gets access to higher, like, legal help.
Okay, so then if the original EO was specifically for Black Americans, you'd be saying the same thing right now, right?
I would say it should be for everybody, not just Black Americans.
So you wouldn't support the original EO that was designed just for Black Americans?
I mean, no.
So then you shouldn't support the original EO specifically designed just for law enforcement officials because it's not for everybody. Just like the EO wouldn't have been for everybody if it related specifically to Black Americans. That's the contradiction.
No. If you would,
that is
let me.
No. That is exactly what you just said.
Let me refute that right now, because
I'll be fucking dude. This is unfair. I'm like, it's like playing tic-tac-toe with a 2-year-old. Man, I just take it away.
All right, cool. So if you think that like one demographic, one race should get better treatment than everybody else, that is not okay. Like everyone should get equal and.
You just said it yourself. If you think one demographic should get better treatment than anybody else, that's not okay. Are law enforcement officers a demographic?
I mean, it is a demographic, but...
What does that mean in accordance with your logic? Should we listen back to what you just said and have your logic inform us? I think we should.
That is not okay. Everyone should get...
I think that we should...
Like, better.
Let's listen to it back.
If you think that, like, one demographic, one race should get better treatment than everybody else, that is not okay. Like everyone should...
So you just said if one demographic gets better treatment than everybody else, that's not okay. And then you called cops a demographic.
I would call cops an assorted like bunch of people. I wouldn't say because you're.
What do you think a demographic is?
No. Because what you're saying is for one specific race to have higher like legal care than the rest of the people. So your claim is that one race should be like above everybody else with the legal system.
So now you're changing out the word demographic for race in your original statement. So let's go ahead and replay the original statement once again.
So if you think that like one demographic, one race should get better treatment than everybody else, that is not okay. Like everyone should get...
So you're actually okay with giving some demographics better treatment than everybody else, as long as those demographics aren't Black people.
That's not what I'm saying.
That is because in your original statement, you agreed that you. Yes, that is absolutely what you're saying. Because in your original statement,
so many times
in your original statement, you said that you consider cops to be a demographic, And then I call you out on your hypocrisy because you said no demographic should get better treatment than anybody else, yet you support an executive order giving better treatment to law enforcement officers than anybody else. And then I like explode your brain with that truth nuke, and then you change your claim from saying that that you don't like preferential treatment for demographics. It's that you don't like preferential treatment for racial demographics, specifically black people. So tell
I
me
don't know how many
why
times.
it's okay to give preferential treatment to demographics over other demographics as long as it's not a racial demographic.
I don't know how many times I can say it, but you're just going to ignore it, I guess. I said that would I support an executive order giving every single person in America the access to higher pro bono legal assistance? I said yes. What I'm saying right now is that I support the one executive order that is for cops. And I said that I would support another executive order for everybody. You can't just twist my words and say
Okay,
that I wouldn't
but
support it.
the issue is that if that original executive order was for black people, you said you wouldn't have supported it.
No, because it shouldn't just be for a one race.
Okay, then why should it be for one job? And if you say, well, it's because they're at a higher likelihood of false accusations or violence brought against them, that is also true of black people.
No, because if you
Hypocrite. Go ahead.
No. So what I'm saying is that because cops, they have a wide variety of people that work as police officers, it's a wide variety of different people.
Okay, so then
You
once
are
again, why
saying
are you
that
okay
one
to giving
race-
preferential?
No, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt
No,
me.
no, no. I'm interrupting you.
interrupting.
I'm interrupting you because this just goes right back around to my last question. Why are you okay with giving preferential treatment to a demographic over another demographic as long as it's not a racial demographic?
I literally have said, I don't know how many times, I would support it for everybody. I would
That's
1,000%.
not an answer to the question that I asked you. The specific question that I'm asking you is how come you're okay with giving preferential treatment to one demographic over another as long as that demographic is not racial?
I mean, because it's an executive order right now and I support it.
Oh, if
I would
it's an
support
executive order right now and you support it, well, that's also not a sufficient explanation because if that executive order right now is for black people, you said you wouldn't have supported it. That's not a sufficient explanation.
No, because if you oh my god.
It is. I am right. You are wrong, dude. Just come fucking admit it, dude. You know that
I'm not
that I got
conceding
you.
on this point because you will let me get halfway into a sentence, then interrupt me by saying, "Oh, you're just circling around."
Okay,
let
so
me
then
have
be
30 seconds
very
uninterrupted.
clear. Uninterrupted. Answer my question. Why do you support preferential treatment to demographics over other demographics as it relates to the executive order about giving said preferential treatment to cops, but not as it relates to racial demographics? Because you said you wouldn't have supported that same EO if it was originally drafted for black Americans. Keep in mind, your explanation cannot be, well, cops are more likely to be have used violence used against them or be falsely accused, because those two facts would also drive the conclusion that you would have supported the original EO if it was drafted about black Americans, because they're also more likely to be falsely accused and have violence used against them. Keep in mind that your explanation can also not be the idea that you just support it for everybody, because keep in mind you originally said that you wouldn't have supported that EO specifically for black Americans. And then also everybody in the chat, I see you guys saying at Athena. Athena, if you want to come up, you can, but I do really want to end this conversation soon because this is outrageous. I'm realistically thinking I want to get allow him a chance to respond to this, then I just want to kick him. But no, please try to respond to that question. Take it away. Nobody's going to interrupt you. Go for it.
All right. So your thing is, why would I support it for one demographic? Okay. So if a cop is accused of a crime, do I agree that the union has paid for better lawyers in the past? Yes.
Not answering my
But
question.
Can I explain my answer? And you said you wouldn't interrupt me. But, okay.
I will make sure to interrupt you and tell you when you're not answering my question. Now, if you are answering my question, I won't interrupt you, but take it away.
You can't. Okay, never mind. I wouldn't support it just for one race in particular. What I would do, what I would say is that because cops they in themselves need to be protected more, largely because we do have a cop shortage right now, and we also have this mass thing of oh, let's defund the police, whatever. I think that cops should have better protection against their jobs because of all of like some like the false accusations like of police brutality, whatever, against different like people.
Motherfucker, I already accounted for this answer in the question that I asked you. I'm not only interrupting you, I'm cutting your mic off because I already accounted for this response to my question when I was asking the question. Do we need to roll back the clip and replay the question I asked you so you could hear me account for this answer in the question that I asked you? What are we doing? We're playing the circle game. Going in the circles. We're doing the shapes in the circles
Help.
and in the loop-de-loops. Quite frankly. It's unreal, bro. Dude. Okay? I've already responded to this claim but 1,000,000,001 times. For the 1,000,000,002nd time, the response is very simple. If your argument is you support the EO giving preferential treatment and access to better legal resources, specifically to cops, because at a higher likelihood of having false allegations lobbed at them, then you also would have supported the original EO for that same reason if it was drafted specific to Black Americans. However, you told us explicitly that you wouldn't have supported the original EO if it was drafted specifically for Black Americans, meaning that you do not think that a higher likelihood for false allegations is sufficient reason for an executive order giving preferential treatment to a particular demographic. That is now the last time I'm going to explain that.
Yeah, can I say something, by the way? Like that type of EO would be preferential treatment for cops, but it wouldn't be preferential treatment for Black people. It would be like a legal protection for Black people, right? Because again, Black people are 7.5 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of unaliving somebody than white people, and 80% more likely to be innocent than others convicted of unaliving. Black people only represent 13.6% of the U.S. population, but account for 53 to 60% of all exonerations for serious crimes. When it comes to substance crimes, Black Americans are 19 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted than white people. Black people are also disproportionately targeted by the police. In 2023 alone, nearly 84% of exonerees were people of color and 61% were Black. And official misconduct was the main factor in 85% of those unaliving exonerations, right? So Black people are more likely to be wrongfully convicted and then are more likely to spend much longer time in unjust incarceration than innocent white people. And inadequate legal defense is a major factor within those wrongful convictions, with 33% of exonerations in 2024 involving inadequate defense, right? So it would be preferential treatment for cops because cops usually get away with the crimes that they commit, especially if those crimes include police brutality, especially police brutality towards Indigenous people and Black people as well. So it would be preferential treatment to cops, but it would not be preferential treatment when it comes to Black people. Instead, Black people as a demographic who are disproportionately targeted by police and by the legal system and are disproportionately wrongfully convicted as well, more legal assistance would actually mean protection. So this is what I kind of like wanted to add. For cops, it would be preferential treatment because they get away with a lot of ish. For Black people, it would be protection because Black people are disproportionately targeted. And we have seen in the past, this is according to the National Registry of Exoneration, by the way, that effective legal assistance does ensure that evidence is then properly scrutinized, that witnesses are properly cross-examined, and the prosecutorial misconduct is challenged, which means that it's going to be less likely that Black defendants are going to be wrongfully convicted and spend more time wrongfully incarcerated. So it is not preferential treatment for Black people, but protection.
I mean, I would disagree with that because I feel like if you think that cops don't need protection, because it's not the case that cops get away with stuff. Because in recent
See, this is the reason.
cops,
This is the reason why I said I wanted
Oh
to
my
kick him
God.
soon. He will just change your claim the same way he was doing to me. No.
How did I change your claim?
Yeah.
All I said was that I don't think that it'd be
because
preferential
your
treatment for cops.
takeaway.
I think that it would.
Your takeaway from what she said is that cops don't need any legal protection.
That's what I said. So I said more legal, like more money for legal defense for cops would be preferential treatment because cops already have that like level of protection from the government, from the system, and from the unions as well, right? They even have qualified immunity, for example, right? Whereas Black people do not have protection. And so that EO for cops would be preferential treatment, but for Black people would be protection.
So then go ahead and tell us why you'd support the EO for cops, but not for Black people, for the reasons that I gave, and the very much needed nuance and expansion upon the reasons that I gave from Athena.
Because I think that cops do need protection as well. It's not just preferential treatment.
Okay, so you're just saying that cops need protection as well. Even if your claim is cops need it just like Black Americans, because that's what the word "as well" means, then you would have supported the original EO if it was drafted for Black Americans. But you said you wouldn't. So your response shouldn't be that you think cops need that additional protection as well, but rather your response should have been that you think cops need it, but Black Americans don't.
That's not my claim at all.
Okay. Well, if that's not your claim at all, then why did you originally say that you wouldn't have supported the EO if it was designed specifically for Black Americans?
Because other people have been like I don't know what the word would be, but they have been a target of the legal system, not just Black Americans.
Okay, once again, if you're saying not just
no.
Black, even I'm gonna let Athena's gonna cook you and tell you why you're wrong. Okay, but I'm just speaking from a logical level here. You're saying that there's other demographics of individuals that have, suffered unjust, the tyranny on behest of the American legal system, on not just Black people. Okay, so you're basically saying there's multiple demographics in which have suffered unjust tyranny on behest of the American criminal justice system, and you're saying that unjust tyranny is what is calling for executive orders such as the one that you're supporting as it relates to giving cops additional legal support. But your explanation here is wrong, because even if what you're saying was true, you said that you wouldn't have supported the original EO if it was designed for Black people. So you don't think that Black people deserve it, but you do think that cops deserve it, meaning that this as well claim that cops need it as well as Black Americans is actually not something that you find to be true.
No, you're twisting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I don't think, because there are multiple different demographics that are targeted and have been
So then why would only of these why would only one of these multiple demographics that are targeted deserve these legal protections, not all?
I'm not okay. What I'm saying right now is that yes, Black Americans have been targeted by the justice system for many different for many years. I can agree with that.
You're not answering my questions. Athena, feel free. Go ahead and cook him. Say whatever you want.
my
After
God.
you're done, I'm going to kick his ass out of the live because he has literally zero rational faculties.
No, it's called you won't let me
Literally zero.
talk. No, I'll just leave
because you
won't let me
contradict
talk.
yourself. Because no,
You
you
won't
literally
let me talk. You're crashing out because you won't let me talk, and I'm trying to
you contradict yourself in the first two words. I don't even need to let you finish your sentence in order for a contradiction to be present. Why would I let you finish speaking when it is just a useless waste of carbon emissions via the inhale and the exhalation of air in this atmosphere for you to waste it on these useless words that ultimately amount to a contradiction? And then also, if you're going to say that you're going to leave, you're just running, bro.
Yeah. So
Running.
nobody is saying that other demographics of people are not being targeted by the justice system. It's just Black people are more likely to be targeted, right? So for example, Black people make up about 13.6 to 14% of the US population, but they still make up 41% of the prison and jail population. In comparison to that, Latino people, which again, Latino is not a race, but Latino people comprise of about 19.5% of the US population, so a larger population than Black people, but make up, wait, hold on, I had the stats somewhere here. Give me a second. But Latino people make up 24% of the prison population. So they are overrepresented, but not like Black people who make up 14%, but make up 41% of the prison jail population, right? Black youth are also 5.6 times more likely to be incarcerated than white youth. When it comes to death row, 40.6% of people on state death row are Black, 14.3% are Latino, and 42% are white. So even though Black people make up only about 13.6% 9.7% of the population, and Latino people make up about 19.5% of the population. So Black people are overrepresented, vastly overrepresented when it comes to like death row at both the federal and state level, when it comes to exoneration level, when it comes to people who are targeted as well by the cops, when it comes to targeted for substance abuse, targeted for wrongful conviction of unaliving, for all of these things, right? Nobody is saying the justice system does not target Indigenous Americans, does not target Asian Americans, does not target Latino Americans as well, but Black people are the most disproportionately targeted by the US justice system compared to any other demographic, as shown by incarceration rates, by death penalty statistics, and by youth detention data, right? So that is why I argue that actually Black people need more legal protection, not really cops. Like, there is no evidence or credible data that shows that police officers are somehow wrongfully convicted or disproportionately convicted at similar rates or higher than Black civilians. In fact, police officers are more likely to be protected by the legal system, with internal affairs, legal protections, making any type of wrongful conviction of cops extremely rare compared to the general population. So I would argue Black people who are directly targeted by the justice system and by policing need this type of like legal defense and protection, whereas cops don't.
Okay, am I allowed to talk now,
Yeah.
or will I get cut off again?
No, I won't cut you off this time. I want you to embarrass yourself. I've been saving you the embarrassment with the interruptions, but I'll let you run rampant this time.
All right, cool, thanks. Like, I'm not saying that there isn't some sort of bias in the justice system. That's not what my claim is. My claim is that
Who muted him?
Parker.
all right.
Parker muted him. Parker's not even on the stream.
How the hell did he mute him on the stream? It's crazy.
Because he has bot powers. That was funny as fuck. He doesn't have to be like in a guest box in order to do that. That's pretty fucking
Oh, he's in
funny.
the chat? Okay.
Yeah, take it away, Bear.
Anyway, I'm just gonna say like one or two more things, then I'm gonna leave because I'm not getting my point across.
Oh man, get your point across. I'm sorry. Tyrant Parker, right, needs to chill. Don't worry. I will have a
Alright.
very stern talking to with him that is absolutely unacceptable. Okay, so I'm gonna demod him because of the abuse of power.
I'm not saying that. Let me just talk because I'm actually about to leave. I got stuff to do.
Right.
But if your claim is that some groups are misrepresented than others, yes. But if you take that same logic and apply it, men are more likely to be falsely accused than women. So should men get like better legal protection?
Can you address my points initially?
Also, you understand that you are literally arguing against your.
All right, I'm gone.
No, you're literally arguing. No, don't leave yet. You're literally arguing against your original point. Your original point hinged on a higher likelihood of false accusations against cops in order to justify
Fuck
the
this,
EO
dude.
for
Fuck
cops.
this.
Yeah, you're crashing out.
But he left without addressing my point.
Oh, he left without addressing your points and contradicting the original point that he made that led to this 35.
What was the original point that he made?
That there's this executive order that Trump has signed into law giving cops additional legal protections, such as a reference from the AG for pro bono high ticket lawyers, and that he thinks that was a good EO because cops are disproportionately falsely accused. And it's funny.
In what world are cops disproportionately wrongfully accused?
Yeah. So then, I mean, I chose the way that I chose to combat the position was by seeing if he'd support the same EO for other demographics, such as Black Americans, for all the reasons you listed out. He said no, and then you came up, you just kind of like further added on to that point by detailing exactly how it is not just the case that Black Americans are falsely accused, but they're the most falsely accused compared to any other demographic, and there's no evidence to demonstrate that cops are falsely accused at higher rates at all. And then he, responded to your point by saying, by your logic, would this mean that you think men deserve actual legal protections due to higher false accusations rates? So then I started to laugh at him because that was his original logic for the premise of the executive order in the first place for cops. So,
And his response was, "What about men, though?"
yeah, what about men? What about
What about men? But
Athena?
yeah,
I really appreciate you for coming up. Thank you so much for cooking that
Yeah,
fraud.
thank you. Appreciate you. I'm going to drop back in the comments. Bye.
Cool. Have a good rest of your day, Athena. Let's go to move on to the next guest for the 8.1 thousand people in here. What an interesting conversation that was. I got to say, that's probably the longest we've talked about a very specific small executive order from the Trump administration, like ever. But for whatever reason, it was like, I don't know, it was a long one. Now, if you happen to be one of the 8.1 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, y'all, make sure that we're double tapping away in that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. What is going on? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. Specifically, why? Just going off real life experience. During his first term, I was, let's say, higher on the lower income side, climbed my way to middle class income, and I noticed real wage growth, more opportunity, and just a couple other things.
Okay. There's more real
purchased-
wage growth under the Biden-Harris administration.
I understand, just like it's continued to grow for the last 50 years. It's a what's the best way to put it? An upwards graph. Of course, there's going to be downtrends, but it's always going up.
Okay. So
Same,
why
you
would that
can
be a
argue the
reason to
same thing
support
with the
Trump?
stock market. Well, hold up, bear with me.
Okay.
One other point that I wanted to make was just an example. If you want to compare the two administrations, Biden versus Trump, I bought my first house with my wife in
Gotcha,
Trump's
yeah.
first term, and I received it at a 3.5 interest rate. And now I got my second house recently, and it is now at a 6.99.
Right.
Right before Trump went in. Granted, I did notice it went down a little bit. I'm waiting for it. I'm hoping it goes down.
Yeah, I think that your claim is
2% so I
outrageous
can-
because you have absolutely no reason to blame higher interest rates on the Biden-Harris administration. The reason why we had higher interest rates in the last 4 years was a result of a decision made by Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, to respond to inflation onset in America by the pandemic, and that had absolutely no relation to Biden. Now, something that does have relation to Trump is the fact that Jerome Powell's announced a slowing of the cutting of the rates because of Donald Trump's tariffs and his very exorbitantly expensive policy. Right now, he's trying to get the BBB passed through the Senate. It is single-handedly the most expensive policy ever to hit the floor of the House or the Senate in the totality of the American history.
So let me ask you a question. When somebody's coming up to you, I'm not being confrontational. It's a legitimate question. And I'm not even blaming Biden for this, okay? But if somebody experienced a better lifestyle during his first administration, changed to a worse lifestyle in this last administration, and now is hoping that it goes back to a better lifestyle in this current administration, what is the problem for that if we're basing this on real life experience?
Because that's
I
called a
understand
correlation
this-
causation
Bear with me.
fallacy.
I'm almost finished, Parker. I do understand there's correlations, there's data, there's statistics that can go in both directions. But you do have to acknowledge real world life experience.
I understand, but what you're not understanding is that just because two things are associated doesn't mean one caused the other, right? You can have a life experience, particularly that like someone had an allergic reaction to like Tylenol. Does that mean that's how Tylenol works for everyone?
No, of course not. But it does tie in with
Okay.
certain things. Like you guys say Trump's economy was bad. But how do you explain the 4.9, I believe, wage growth for low income workers from like 2017 to 2019?
If you could play me a clip of me saying that the economy was bad under like the totality of Donald Trump's first admin, because
It's a
I'll give
general
you-
talking point. I'm not saying
I'll
you
give
guys
you $10,000.
specifically. Yeah, I know you want to. I know we're going down the berating style. I'm talking to you man to man. We're not shit talking. You know.
No, I'm just saying, you're saying something.
It's a
that isn't
general
true.
talking point. Okay, you know what? Fine. I'll even make it a little more specific.
Yeah, now
Not
can
you
now can
specifically.
you please-
a general
now
talking
can
point
you-
of the Democrat
well,
Party.
you're debating me. You're not debating the DNC. Now, what I will say here is I'd appreciate it if you could respond to what Parker said down here.
In regards to his Tylenol joke.
No, in regards to the fact that you can't just say that you support Trump today because your life was better under his first administration compared to the Biden-Harris administration, because you're not accounting for the influence of external variables on the quality of your life unrelated to the administration. Like, for instance,
Well, my
one really
wages
big-
went up.
One really big reason why maybe you had a poor quality of life under the Biden-Harris administration was because things cost a lot more, right? But like the Biden administration didn't cause that. The pandemic did. Maybe another reason why you had a lower quality of life under the Biden-Harris administration is because in the first year or two, people were staying inside, scared of getting COVID. Well, Biden didn't cause that. I don't know. Natural biological.
He didn't make it
precursors
easier.
caused that, etc. So, I mean, basically what we see here is that you'd have to specifically indicate the actions of Donald Trump under his first administration, the actions of Biden under his first administration, or the actions of Donald Trump in his second administration to justify why you support Trump.
So I just want to clarify one thing real quick. Is your statement just based on what you said? I know it's not, but I just want to clarify. Are you saying that the entire Biden administration, the reason everything is the way it is strictly 100% because of COVID?
Specifically inflation in the last 4 years. What a crazy red herring to my position. You should be
And he
ashamed
did.
of such
Oh no, I'm not
illogical,
saying it
bad
didn't play a
faith red
major
herring.
part in it. I'm just saying,
What,
are you
what,
attributing?
what an illogical bad faith red herring. I mean, like, seriously, how could you? Like, that's so bad.
Well, you're attributing 4 years due to COVID. Now, don't get me wrong; it was a major factor, and I will agree with you on that. But we cannot say it wasn't everything.
Okay, so then
If
how
you
did
look at the
Biden cause inflation? Tell us.
The Inflation Reduction Act, I can get into it. I can look it up.
What?
If you give me-
How did the
IRA?
How did the Inflation Reduction Act cause inflation?
When it
Bear
literally
with
was
me one
deficit
moment.
reducing
I have
over
that
10
stat
years.
pulled up, but just have to pull it up.
Now
Sorry,
it's-
not pulled.
While you're pulling that up real quick, I would love to thank Kat Lynn for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. Kat Lynn says that today's been full of circles and mental gymnastics. We're only going to get into more of that here with this guest. It has been really bad today. Thank you for the $10, Caitlin. As well as Miles, Miles. Thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Holy crap, Miles. Miles says, I'm going back to school and officially declared for political science, and that's all thanks to you and Parker. Thank you for unlocking a new passion for me. Keep it up, brother. Dude, Miles, that is awesome to hear. Can we please show some very extra special love to Miles, and not just for the $50 donation, but also going back to school for political science? That is awesome, man. I'm so proud of you, Miles. I hope you absolutely kill it. Have fun getting your degree, bro. And I'm really happy to see where you're at later in life, bro. Good for you. Let's show some love to Miles down below. And then also Jade, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. That is incredibly kind of you. As well as Myra with the $20 over on PayPal. Myra says, always look forward to watching your debates. By the way, enjoyed the composition piece posted on the Instagram. I've been working on that one for a while. That's a fun one. But thank you so much for your kind words, as well as the $20 donation, Myra. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, you could find my PayPal, which is my only active, donation link right now.
Is your Venmo not working?
So my Venmo suspended, and I got my Cash App figured out, and I had that for the first hour, but then Cash App suspended me again. So, yeah.
Jesus.
It's out. It's just completely
you
outrageous.
asked about the Inflation Reduction Act. I'll just skip to one section. It's a little detailed, so just bear with me. But Section 2, energy taxes and higher costs. The IRA imposed a natural gas tax and other energy-related costs, which critics say raise production costs for energy-intensive industries. Natural gas is used in power generation, home heating, and chemical manufacturing, so higher costs ripple through to consumer goods. From January 2023, when most IRA provisions took effect.
What was the
September.
effect that the IRA had on consumer goods?
Well, bear with me. I'm reading it, please.
I'm
To
talking
September
from a net
2023.
basis.
Average gasoline prices rose from $3.09 to $3.84 per gallon, and natural gas prices increased over 40% since Biden took office.
Okay.
Grocery prices also rose approximately 20% from 21 to 23, partly due to energy cost pass-throughs.
You're not answering.
That literally answers his question.
No,
Groceries
no,
and energy.
No. Because you just said how much the price of these goods increased through the totality of the Biden-Harris administration, and you're attributing
Due to
that-
energy costs.
and you're attributing that to the IRA. So I'm going to give you one really compelling reason why that is not a good response, and in fact is a very bad faith, illogical response. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Because you're attributing inflation to the IRA that happened before the IRA was signed into law. Silly goose. So obviously that's going to be an insufficient response.
And if anything, the IRA had a downward effect on inflation.
Matt,
It was
thank you for
very
the
small, but 0.1% downward. I don't see anywhere where it says it had a net increase in inflation. I don't see that. Now, yes, there were some aspects of the bill that were meant to impose regulations on, how people conduct energy, but that overall is going to increase social welfare. The whole reason for environmental regulations actually is to increase social welfare, because if you just leave it up to the private markets, there's more private externalities or negative externalities, which negatively impact other people within the market that aren't the owners of that particular good. Does it make sense?
It makes sense. The problem is a lot of it is not backed by real world data. So if you look at the IRA, the tax credit for the electric vehicles, it was $7,500 per vehicle. Clean energy led to $265 billion in private clean energy investments by 2024. 40% of it, what's all the projects were delayed due to market conditions and overproduction in China.
Okay.
It slows the
You're
cycle
not
of relief.
responding to what I said, and you didn't respond to what Parker said. Repeat
Well,
what I
to
said.
be fair, I'm talking to both of you, so I'm trying to pick out where to talk. You can only get a couple seconds before you guys cut in, so I'm trying to get what I can in.
I haven't heard a response to what I or Parker said. All I said was that you're attributing inflation data to the IRA.
It has real world effects. All right, let's say it didn't go through. Okay, hold up. Let's say it didn't go through because you guys, this is something you were saying. Let me talk for just a moment.
I'm not going to let
you
you
always
talk.
talk about the tariffs; they didn't happen, but you say it has an effect.
I'm not going to let you talk.
When you talk about something, it goes through.
What I still haven't heard an explanation for was the fact that you are attributing inflation to this bill that happened before the bill passed.
Because when you come in with a thing, for example, like I was saying, you guys always talk about the tariffs, how they have the negative effects before they even went through. Okay? Just like how you have this IRA that goes, what's all that you talk about, it has negative effects. People pull back funding based on actions.
Oh, okay.
So it did have an effect.
That before the IRA was
I am
signed
not
into
saying
law-
before,
Listen,
real quick,
listen,
just
listen,
one
listen,
quick
listen,
thing
listen.
before you try to go in. I'm not saying it was the root cause of all inflation.
Okay, so you're
I'm
saying
just
that
saying
before
it's a
the IRA,
contributing factor.
You're saying that before the IRA was signed into law, the IRA inflated the price of gasoline by reducing the confidence in oil producers, causing them to produce less?
It was a contribution, not the main reason, not the only reason. A contribution is absolutely a factor.
Yeah, we had the highest total level of energy production ever observed in this country under the Biden-Harris administration. You're wrong.
Where was our exports then? Because to my knowledge, we used a lot of our reserves.
No, actually, he sold our reserves when oil was at a high point, and then refilled them when oil was at a low point to make our country around $120 billion. You're still not responding to what I said, though, because the conclusion of your claim would have been that the IRA disincentivized oil production in America, and because there's less oil being produced, there's an overall lower level supply, which created a higher equilibrium price due to consistent level of demand. My rebuttal of your position is just to simply point out that we actually had the highest level of domestic oil production we've ever observed as a country under the totality of the Biden-Harris administration. And the reason why we had higher prices was because of a lower domestic supply, but it was because of a lower global supply, particularly induced by OPEC reducing their output by 10% and us sanctioning oil from Russia. Now, of course, we wouldn't say there's a lower global supply because of the IRA, because the IRA does not have global jurisdiction. So you are wrong.
Like I said, and I've responded to you, maybe not to the way you wanted to hear, but like I said, it is a factor. I am not saying it's the only thing. You asked how it was bad. I answered that it has factors. When people talk about it, funding gets pulled. That is a portion that goes into this. I'm not saying the IRA was horrible the whole way around. Obviously, it had stuff that was beneficial. Nobody's denying that.
Can I get an answer to my question? What was the net impact that it had on inflation? It says it had a net.
Let me pull that up. Bear with me one moment.
Jesus Christ. Man, Parker, my guests today have been terrible.
I'm terrible just because I have to look up a couple information because I don't have everything on hand.
No, because you claimed that it had like such a high increase on the effect of everything else because of the increase that it's going to have on anything related to gas, right, and energy here. So I would love to see that because you know that simultaneously it invests in energy as well, right? So any negative impact that you'd see in the oil markets, right, would be offset by positive impacts that we see in renewable energy markets. So like the idea that it's going to impact energy insofar as that transportation will be so much more costly is actually not even something.
All right. Well, to answer your question, the IRA's net negative impact on inflation stems from its immediate fiscal stimulus, energy cost increases, and limited short-term deflationary effects, which outweighed its long-term benefits during a period of high inflation.
Slow down and actually explain what you're reading off of ChatGPT. Slow down and actually explain what you're reading.
You're telling me to slow down. You guys speak super fast just to try to get 10 points
I'll
across.
slow down too. So will Parker. We'll all slow down.
So just bear with me.
I want you to meticulously go through what you're reading to demonstrate the net impact that the IRA had in inflation. We're not here for rhetoric. We're here for substance. Let's hear the substance.
Okay. So going off what I was reading, it outweighed its long-term benefits during a period of high inflation, 9.1% in June 2022. Here are the key what's called points with data and
That's
context.
before the IRA was put in place. Why are you? What are you doing? I'm asking you.
It
What
was
was the
signed into
net
law
impact?
on August 16th, 2022, correct?
What would you just mention? You just mentioned June.
The statistic of the inflation, or what is that? The inflation? Yeah, the high inflation.
What is
9.1%
9.1% inflation from? What month?
in June 2022.
June 2022. Is June before or after August?
It was not stating that was from that.
No, I just want to know. Is June before or after August?
Obviously before, dude.
Thank you very much. I
Don't
really
you
appreciate
think this
that
is the
answer.
problem where we're trying to have? You're saying we want to have a conversation of substance. We're on
You want to answer my
6
questions, and then I try to
insults?
get you to answer my
6
question. Like,
insults
it's
towards
my
me
fault
when
for
I'm
trying to
literally
get him to
just
answer the
talking to you
question. My
guys. I
bad.
haven't insulted
My bad.
you
He shouldn't be
once.
answering my questions in a debate. Yeah.
Because you're not asking questions for information. You're asking in a berating broad way. You're doing it literally to defame the substance of what I'm talking about.
How?
It's obvious, dude. I was literally just trying to have a conversation with you guys. If you're gonna act like children, we can move on to somebody else who can deal with it. But look,
What the fuck? Wait, you made a claim that the
I did
IRA
make a
caused
claim. I
Oh,
backed up the
hey,
claim with some
children
information.
typically interrupt.
And then
Let's-
you guys
okay,
threw a
let's go
baby fit and started asking a million questions, then got mad when I didn't answer one of your million questions.
I don't know why you're crashing out. Parker just simply pointed out that you said the IRA caused inflation 3 months before it was signed into law.
That's not what I said at all. You completely took it out of context. You did not listen to what I read. You just heard what you wanted to hear.
Please contextualize you saying that it caused inflation 3 months before it was signed into law.
Here's another statistic then, just to go towards it then. In 2023, $265 billion in private clean energy investments were spurred by IRA subsidies. 40% of IRA-funded manufacturing projects, e.g. solar, battery plants, were delayed, limiting supply-side relief. Inflation remained elevated at 3.7 in September 23, with government spending contributing to demand-driven price measures. The demand is what I'm talking about. We have, just an example, I have a couple friends who are CDL drivers. Biden's term kicked their ass because of the gas prices. Their freaking hours went down. It's hard to fucking stay afloat. The energy is a massive point of this. So not only did it have direct impact, but like I said, what I was trying to point out was just the conversation that this was happening had a negative effect.
Can you please,
Did I say it's going to be the 100% game over? No.
So can
It's
you
a
please?
We'll never get an answer.
Yeah. So I mean, what you just said was that the IRA subsidized clean energy producers, and then clean energy producers produce less. Explain to us how subsidies from the IRA caused that. Because wouldn't the subsidies, if anything, prevented further reductions in production?
How is clean energy made?
Answer
Just
my
give me
question
the
before I answer yours.
simple answer.
Dude, there's plenty of ways in which clean energy are made. One would
Fossil
be wind,
fuels,
one would be
nickel,
solar,
a bunch of
etc.
different metals. All of that requires, let's go to the very base version of this. Gas, so CDL drivers can
A lot of yapping, not a lot of answering questions.
Yeah, are you going to answer my
As
question?
I literally
Because I'm repeating the claim that you just made. The claim that you just made was simple. They subsidized clean energy producers, and that caused a downturn in their production. That is exactly what you just said.
They overdrew. To answer your question, you're asking how the negative effects. They had a 10-year plan, which in theory was a good plan. I wasn't against it. In theory, it was great. However, they overdrew the funds. They were pulling out too much too early. It had a negative effect. It outbalanced the long-term gains that the Inflation Reduction Act was supposed to do.
Okay, explain. to us
Long-term
how.
games related to what? Right? You're not talking about inflation. What was the net effect on inflation?
I literally read you the net the net effect multiple times a few minutes ago.
So you said it was net negative, correct?
Net negative in terms of, like I said,
Inflation?
it's not all net. In terms of energy, yes.
So then this guy just lied. He said that inflation went up a lot because of the Inflation Reduction Act, and then just acknowledged that it had a negative impact on
I said it was a
inflation.
contributing factor. You're putting words in my mouth.
But you just acknowledged that it had a net negative impact on inflation. Do you know what you're saying right now?
So I may be miswording. When I say net negative, I mean in the sense of it's a bad thing. So if I'm saying, I apologize.
What are you reading?
There are negative effects from the Inflation Reduction
Can we
Act.
ask you what you're reading?
I've pulled up a couple different sources.
From
Really?
what? Where?
From Grok?
Originally, yes. Then I pulled it up from different websites
You actually used Grok?
To bring up the initial. Then I actually
Oh my
websites to
Jesus
verify. I don't
Christ,
read
dude,
off
that is
Grok.
brutal.
Okay, watch this. So you told us that you think that it had a 40% reduction in production of clean energy, right?
There was a contributing factor, yes.
Okay. Well, according to sources such as, let's see here, it's originally coming from Vox. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Rhodium Group. So according to the Rhodium Group, which, by the way, is a biased right group, they say that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill will slash the capacity of...
Well, hold up.
new
Now we're
clean-
changing subjects. Hold up. We're talking about the Inflation Reduction Act. We're not talking about the big, beautiful bill. That's a whole different discussion. We can start that if you want.
Can you finish letting me speak before you hop in?
No, because I got you at a point where it was all you have to admit something went wrong, or you have to change the subject.
No, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Parker just got you to admit that the Inflation Reduction Act had a net negative impact on inflation. So now that we've won the debate on the IRA, I am now constructing a counter argument rooted within the policy of the Trump administration. So assuming that we didn't win the debate, assuming that we didn't get you to admit that it had a net negative impact on inflation and that your claims were true, that it caused inflation by cutting the production of clean energy in America, according to the Rodian Group, the big, beautiful bill in Congress right now is estimated to slash the capacities of clean energy producers in this country by 72%, which is 32% more than what you say was true of the IRA. Does this mean that the big, beautiful bill is even less desirable and less preferable to you than the IRA was?
With the big, beautiful bill, there are portions of it I like, portions I'm not a huge fan of.
So then
I am
answer my
not a
question.
fan of raising the debt ceiling X amount.
So then answer my question.
Can you shorten your question and say it one more time?
Does this mean that you find the big, beautiful bill less desirable than the IRA because it cuts new capacity of energy production more than the IRA in accordance with what you said? By the way, the Rhodium Group actually estimates that some of the credits offered under the IRA were good for energy production. And a lot of the capacity being slashed...
Yeah, some could be.
A lot of the capacities being slashed are actually by sunsetting the IRA credits.
In terms of a one-to-one comparison, now don't get me wrong, this is not an endorsement for the big, beautiful bill. In terms of a one-to-one comparison, I would prefer that over
Why?
just for
it
the
slashes
bill
the
as a
energy
whole.
production more.
Bear with me. The investment that he's brought alone, so the traveling he's done to go to all these countries to bring in the investments he's brought in, which if I'm correct, it's...
Industries has stagnated since Donald Trump won the election and his service in his first quarter.
That is wildly incorrect. And all right, let's
that's
talk
not
about
wildly
the foreign
incorrect. My
policy
source,
investment.
no, don't pivot. What I said was true. My source would be the FRED, the federal bank bank from the city of St. Louis. Now, if you go on Google, you type in real fixed private investment (FRED), you will be able to find the data for yourselves. That's pulling from the U.S. Economic Bureau. We had a massive boom in investment in American industries under the totality of the Biden-Harris administration. Donald Trump won the election, and they've stagnated since. So, yeah, what I'm saying is right. What you're saying is wrong. I have the data. You don't.
Right. So, let me ask you a question. Did he travel the last couple months?
No. You're going to address what I just said.
This question answers your question with that. Okay. Did he travel the last couple months? Did he secure $1.5 trillion of investments? Ballparking, not an exact number. Ballparking.
I don't know what the particular figure was. I know that that particular figure was significantly estimated by him on stage, then corrected by the White House. But regardless of the amount of money that he secured in investment, we still know whatever amount of money he secured in investment was a stagnation from prior growth. So,
and you're saying about stagnation. This didn't happen between Biden at all.
Yeah, it was actually the biggest boom in modern American history under the Biden-Harris administration. They did great.
Oh, no. Take out COVID out of the equation.
Right.
Put the numbers, put third-year Trump into that.
Right. Yeah. Insane boom from third-year Trump to the Biden-Harris administration. It was
The
actually
entirety of Trump's administration was actually net decrease.
Yeah, even if we look
Correct.
at like
Accounting for COVID.
even when we account for COVID, it
You
was a
take
decrease.
if you take out
if you
out of
compare
the equation, you eliminate Biden's first 2 years just to be fair to take out that COVID.
Yeah, no, please do it. I mean, it's significantly higher. There actually wasn't that much of an increase in real fixed private investment under the Trump administration, and COVID actually didn't have that massive.
So how come
decrease. Like
real
one
wage
second.
growth
Are you gonna
happened under Biden?
Are you gonna allow me to finish?
I-
You're gonna allow me to finish like a good boy. Now
Yeah,
go
now
back
you
to
can
what I
go
was
fuck
saying.
yourself, dude.
Oh,
Are
he's
you
so
gonna
mad.
you're gonna rage
You need
quit and
some
leave?
tissues?
No, you're not gonna
Kleenex?
talk to me like that, dude. I'm a grown ass fucking man. I don't need that.
He just did. He just did it. He just did
I'm
it.
saying that was wrong. My apologies.
Nope.
Could I, if I were to hypothetically pull out a ukulele and give you a song with tears, would it make it all better?
Dude, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We have a
No, at the end of the day, I'm still talking. So yeah, regardless of the metrics that you want to compare, you could try to contort the data of real fixed private investment under Biden and Harris compared to under Trump in his first term, and regardless of your contortion, like Biden and Harris will still win because it was just that insane. The difference between the level of real fixed private investment under Trump in his first term to that same investment under the Biden-Harris administration is nuts. I'm telling you to go look at it for yourself. Go to Google, type in real fixed private investment, FRED. You will see it for yourself. And since Donald Trump won in November, we've had a stagnation in that investment. Ignore COVID, Biden and Harris went boom. Ignore Donald Trump's fourth year as a whole. Biden and Harris went boom compared to him. Ignore Biden and Harris's first year or two. They went boom compared to Trump. Like, ignore whatever years you want. Do your contortion. They still win. It's like, it's just that, it's that much of a difference.
Well, then you and me must be living two completely different lives.
Okay, my source is the FRED pulling from the U.S. Economic Bureau.
Oh, I
What's yours?
understand. You got your sources. You got your numbers.
So what's your source?
I'm
What's your
real
source?
world
What's your source?
experience.
What's your source?
He doesn't have one.
You don't have
The
one.
life
That's right, buddy.
I
Get
live
fucked.
with the
Yeah.
my
How's the life that you're
children.
gonna live inform you about macro level business investment? Are you an idiot? Are you fucking idiot sandwich? Are you kidding me? Look at what you're saying. You're saying that your life experiences can inform you about macro level business investments? Dude, holy fuck. Are you like Jesus? Are you all knowing?
No, but I'll tell you one thing,
the
I lived
only
a lot
way
better under
the
that.
only way that your life experiences could inform you of macro level business investment in the private sector in real non-nominal dollar amounts is literally if you are all knowing. That is the okay, think about it this way. Everybody watching, have you ever just had a life experience, unless you're God, that has informed you of what the current level of
So is this what you
macro
like to
level
do?
business
Act like a
investment
child and
and
grow up?
real
Yes.
dollars is?
Keep
Have
muting
you
people.
ever had a
Yes.
you've never
have.
had you have Parker, shut the hell up.
I have. The life experience I've had looking at the graph.
Right, yeah, no, for real. No,
Yeah, and
please
people here
tell
in
us.
the real world who don't get paid to stream and talk shit online actually have to work for a living. Did
Oh,
better.
you don't think I work for a living?
Yeah, this is work, buddy. Putting up with you. You're quite a tool, dude. So I'd
Talk
say
about
I'm working hard.
confidence.
And about getting paid about that. Reagan, thank you for
Do
the
you
$5.
think babysitters have jobs?
Over on PayPal, real quick. Ark, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal saying, can we not debate somebody that's using ChatGPT? Well, it's fun because then the moment you're able to force them to not use ChatGPT, such as how I am doing by referencing private fixed investment, they crash out like this guy right now. Thank you for the money, Ark, with the
Trying to have
$10
a
over on
conversation
PayPal.
is
And then
compared to-
Kiara, thank you so much for the, let's see here, for the $20
He left.
over on PayPal. Saying, hello, Dean. Thank you for helping me stay politically informed. You are awesome, Kiara. Show some love to Ark and Kiara down below in that chat for the love right now, everybody, while we get the next guest on the line. And he actually got a violation. I wonder what for.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
I have 3 people to thank whenever you're done.
Go for it,
Thanking
dude.
people. Oh, okay, for sure. Lennox, thank you so much for pushing the $4. Thank you. Joy with the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Sid with the $100. Thank you so much for Happy Monday.
Hello.
Hope you're doing well. Always good to see you. Always good to see you, Sid. Can we get some W's
Hello,
for Sid in the
thanks,
comment
good to
section
see
right now?
you too, Parker. Thank you for that. It's good to see you too.
Yo, drop a quick
Good to
beat.
see you, Karen.
Drop a quick beat, Karen.
So yes, I was prepared for this. There is a house in New Orleans on top of the rock. You know what? My voice is a little. You just.
Bye, Karen. Thank you for coming up. We love you. Hi, Austin. Do you support Trump?
Hell no.
Hell no. Base, bro. We're just looking for Trump supporters, so we're going to go to kick you. Everybody, y'all go and just give us a minute to get that next guest up with the box. If you're in that queue, make sure that means that you're an American adult that does indeed support Donald J. Trump.
I'm a big fan. Big, like biggest.
Thank you,
Massive?
Jack. Thank
Massive?
you. Thank you, Jack. You're awesome. W, big fan Jack down below, y'all. What are you saying massive for? Bro, don't say that. You're gonna
Like massive fan? Like I was making the ninja joke.
You're gonna get clipped out of context, and then your girlfriend is gonna be really mad at you. That's what happened to me.
What?
I
How'd
was
that happen to you?
making the massive ninja joke on a stream, and then somebody clipped it and made like a hypersexual edit. It was fucking disgusting, and my girlfriend was upset. So be careful with saying that. Hello, Marcus. Do you support Trump?
Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck
Base,
Donald
Marcus.
Trump.
Hell yeah. We're gonna move on to the next guest, everyone. Go ahead and just give us a minute here, y'all, to get that next guest up in the box. We are just seriously looking for some debates, everybody. And
Yo.
Also, M, thank you for the $5 and the 55 cents over on PayPal, saying you and Parker are iconic. M, thank you so much. Just some love to EMM down below. Also, yeah, if you're watching and you want to support me, my Venmo got closed, my Cash App got closed. Somebody's coming after me. So right now, the only way that you can support me is over PP PayPal, which you can find in the link in the bio. Y'all get 100% of proceeds over there. They all go straight to me, as well as you will get a notification at the top of my phone screen that I could read out. And thank you so much for your support. Welcome in, Tristan. Do you support the Orange Maniac?
Yo, yeah, man.
Oh, how old are you?
I'm around.
How old are you?
25.
Okay, and you support him because dropping bombs on Iran?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that was a major loss. So, I mean, what did we get out of that? We got the Iranian parliament to pull out the IAEA's oversight clearance, so now we don't even know what their uranium enrichment levels are. Early U.S. intelligence reports told us that we didn't destroy their nuclear facilities. We only set them back by a matter of months, and we have no clue where their enriched uranium
You're trusting
is.
the CIA now? Wow.
I'm saying that we definitely don't have a more reliable source than somebody who would have a bias to report otherwise, because it's being literally led by somebody in the Trump admin. Wow.
I mean, the bias of them running in the Trump admin would be that they're wrong, right? By your logic?
So they'd have a pro-Trump bias, right? And they're still reporting somebody, and which would contradict the narrative set forth.
I mean, wouldn't the pro-Trump bias be to say that they still have weapons?
No.
So that they can continue bombing?
Because Donald Trump has said that they're wrong and that these reports were incorrect.
I mean, no one gives a fuck what Donald Trump says. He lies every single day, and no one cares.
It does matter. It does matter insofar as determining what a pro-Trump bias would want to report. Okay, a pro-Trump bias would not want to report something that would contradict what he says.
Do you think it's an issue that you can't take the president of the United States seriously?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, why do you support a guy that you can't even take serious?
I mean, I support what he does, not the person, right?
Like what? Can you tell me what he does that you support, that you think is so fantastic?
I mean, bombing Iran was a great one. You think that's bad? I get that. But I have more of a question directed towards Dean.
You just support him because he wants to bomb Iran, that's it?
Oh, I mean, the Middle Eastern total package being that he's...
What is the positive outcome that we got out of that?
Yeah, like what do you get from bombing Iran? Didn't they just like literally get paused for like essentially like a few more months?
I mean, do you want Iran with a nuclear bomb? Like, what's going on?
Why did Trump pull out of the nuclear peace agreement then?
And then I also
because
think
Iran wasn't listening to it.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. That's not what you're saying. Is absolutely misinformation.
Yeah, we had 24/7. We had 24/7 surveillance.
Yeah, so a part of the deal. So the deal was overseen by the UN as well as the EU, and a part of the deal was ensuring that IAEA had 24/7 access and surveillance to every single one of their nuclear facilities, as well as the fact that Iran would have to completely dismantle and get rid of all the machinery that would be required to develop nuclear weapons, and they had to give 97% of all of their enriched uranium to Russia. And for the totality of the 3 years that the deal is signed, the IAEA report precisely 0 infractions of any of the criteria that I just described. So when I hear people like you say, well, they violated it, that is literally just like MAGA misinformation. It
Well,
is
I have a
just as
question
wrong as the
as
claim
far
that
as,
Donald
like,
Trump won 2020.
Yeah, no. So as far as like biases go, do you think the IAEA would have a bias to report infractions or to not report infractions?
A bias too, dude. It's a IAEA. They are a nonpartisan nuclear watchdog, and the formation of the IAEA was literally for nuclear denuclearization and across the globe, and for a check/balance on the nuclearization agreements of countries. So,
Yeah, so, I mean, what I'm
absolutely,
trying
if
to
you're
say
going to
is
argue
that
that the
Iran
IAEA was lying, you're going to
Yeah.
have to give us some very fucking compelling reason, because you have now discovered a truth that nobody else has ever discovered before. So, in discovery of this truth that the IAEA was lying, what is the compelling reason to believe this?
The evidence is that when Iran was getting the quote unquote 24-hour surveillance, they just denied entry. Probably, I think it was 17 times in 3 years. What does 24-hour surveillance mean if you just can deny entry?
Oh, so they denied entry 17 times in 3 years. Hey, I don't
Yeah.
know the validity of your claim, but B, it
That's
sounds
just
like they
true,
did
and you
this
don't know
multiple
about it. That's
times
what
and
I'm
not
talking
one
about. You don't know
concurrent
about it.
time.
You don't know about
So
that?
I'm
saying that
I
IA
am
definitely
responding
does
to your
do that.
claim. So imagine that they were denied entries to these facilities. And now you said 17 multiple times, not one concurrent time, meaning that the IAEA had access to these nuclear sites in between the denial of entry, as well as to the enrichment of uranium through the totality of the country, meaning that they'd be able to intermittently check and ensure that they weren't developing nuclear weapons. But like, I'm pretty sure when you say denied entry,
Where do you get evidence for this?
all
I
that
was
you
like, where do you see
mean
this?
is they basically said that this is a bad day for an inspection. I'm pretty sure that Iran had 500 inspections per year, all 3 years that the agreements were signed. And those inspections were literally just people in person. And the 24/7 access to surveillance was the 24/7 surveillance feeds that were running, regardless if they had people in person, surveilling the facilities or not. And you're saying the 17 times that they denied entries were the 17 times out of 1,500 times that Iran had people in person looking at their facilities over the course of 3 years.
Okay, walk me through this logic then. All right, so let's take an analogy. You have a food inspector, right? Do you understand what a food inspector is? Do you know what that is?
Yes.
All right. You have a pizza shop. And the law says that the food inspector can drop by whenever they want for a random drop-in inspection. Right? Do you get that?
I'm following.
And in order to make sure you don't get caught violating anything, you just don't let the food inspector enter. And then you let this food inspector enter when you've already moved all the things that were violations away, and then you let them enter, and then every other time you don't let them come in.
Yeah, the issue with your logic is that we'd be able to see them moving the violations away with the live feed through the cameras.
Oh, why did Trump certify Iran's compliance twice after they specifically? Because the only 2 times they exceeded the limits very slightly on accident.
True.
Yeah,
So
like Iran exceeded the heavy water limits
your
briefly,
entire
but is now
premise
in
here-
compliance.
Your entire premise here is that Iran is a good faith actor.
No, I'm not even claiming that. I'm just saying that like what you just said was like disingenuous because Donald Trump, after the point in which they specifically 2 times went over that limit slightly, said that they were in compliance. Twice. He signed off on them being in compliance twice.
Yeah. So Donald Trump said that they were in compliance twice. They had access to the camera feed even when Iran had to reschedule the in-person. And like the subject to the in-person oversight. So your analogy failed,
I
and
don't
now you have
understand
to
this.
account for Donald Trump assuring their compliance twice. Please go ahead and try to tell us why we're wrong,
So
Kristen.
yeah,
You're on
no,
the losing side of an argument.
I guess I don't understand the entire idea of like when Donald Trump is saying something that you might agree with, you say that Donald Trump is a good source, but every other time he's lying. Why couldn't he just been lying there?
Lying where? What do you mean?
So
You
usually,
said
like
that
we
they certified that
determine.
they were compliant.
So we usually determine
Okay.
that Donald Trump is like an unreliable like actor due to his like aptitude to lie to make himself look better than he actually is in reality. However, when he says something that makes him look worse, right? Like such as saying that they're in compliance and that he then pulled us out of the deal and called it a bad deal. I'm actually not willing to believe that he'd have that same aptitude to lie. Like honestly, man, like when I hear Donald Trump say shit that makes him look worse, I'm like, that must be true. Like, holy
Well,
fuck.
okay. Well, then
Worse to who?
why is he lying about Iran specifically not violating the deal when they did violate the deal? Why would he lie about that? Can you tell me?
I mean, I don't know why Donald Trump lies about anything. I'm just saying that you can't use
We
him as a
do.
source
We
for.
could absolutely always attribute a reason for a lie. So what's the reason for the lie? Because honestly, man, what it sounds like is you're just like the hysterical one, right? Basically, like the culmination of your argument so far is that you think whatever Trump says is a lie and the opposite must be true. And that's the logic that your argument here hinges on. Even though the IAEA reported 0 infractions, 500 in person oversight meetings per year, and 24/7 access to surveillance cameras and all of their nuclear facilities.
So let's go back to it then.
You just sound
If
crazy.
you're saying
You
that
just sound absolutely
yeah.
crazy.
No, I'm saying let's go back to it then. You're stating that he basically said that there have been no the IAEA says there's no infractions.
Right. Donald
Okay.
Trump says there's no infractions. Right. 500
No.
in-person meetings per year and
Take a
24/7
look.
access
Okay.
to surveillance feeds. Right. You're a conspiracy theorist.
All right.
Face the facts, Tristan.
Let me talk for like more than 5 seconds. Can I do that?
I guess.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It's funny when Parker does that. Parker just muted you as a joke because, like, you just said, "Let me talk for more than 5 seconds." Once again, very abusive mod. We're down here. Feel free to unmute. I'm really apologetic for his abuse.
Cool. Yeah. No, totally. I have a cool question for Parker. Hey, Parker, is your pizza cold right now? Do you need to go eat some pizza? Is it cold?
What are you talking about?
Dean, is your pizza cold right now?
Yes, it's still in the fridge.
Oh, bro, you need to go eat that pizza, bro.
I'll probably eat it later.
I'm
So
confused,
why
bro.
are you dodging Destiny so hard?
You're a Destiny fan?
Instead of addressing this, you're just gonna say that?
Wait,
No, you just trolled me by muting me. I'm trolling you back. Why are you dodging Destiny so hard?
If you're a Destiny fan,
I didn't say that.
Why do you believe? Okay, so are you or are you not?
I'm not, but you are dodging him, no?
Okay. Yeah, I disagree. We are here to talk about Trump, though. I'll happily talk about that when I'm not.
You think I'm dodging every communist just because I don't debate people who are on the general left or liberals?
I don't know.
Nah, you said directly that you wouldn't debate him.
Here, how about this? I'll consider
about slurs, and you said that slurs are more.
I'll consider giving your question a response after you're able to respond to me and Parker's critiques of your position that Iran violated the nuclear peace agreement. But just due to the nature of this serving is like a huge deflection away from the fact that you have an incomprehensible position here, I'm not going to engage it. But feel free to
you're not going to engage with it. Cool. I literally trolled because I got muted for trying to speak. I was trying to refute that point, and then you muted me. So,
okay, so you don't actually believe that Iran had violated the nuclear peace agreement?
No, they did. I'm just saying.
Okay, well then continue to argue that point because I disagree with you.
No, as a matter of fact, they did violate it. You're disagreeing on a matter of fact. So I don't know what to go
Okay, well,
there.
we've given you an abundance of reason to believe otherwise. So what is your reason to believe we're wrong?
I mean, you've given me no evidence. I actually have some sources.
Really? So 24
the IAEA
evidence
doesn't report violations.
Evidence such as 24/7 access to surveillance feeds, evidence such as 500 in-person oversights per year, evidence such as it being affirmed by Trump twice, even though that like contradicted his optics because he later pulled us out of the deal. I just think that, you're obviously going to have a losing position here, but you told us that
No,
you're
I
just
mean,
coming
there's
up
a
here
lot of reasons to say why.
up here to troll. We're obviously here to talk to Trump supporters. So given the nature of your troll, you're not a Trump supporter. So we're going to move on to the next guest. But everyone just give us a minute here to get that very next guest loaded into the live. We got Vicky loading in, y'all. So everybody just do be patient while we get that next guest loaded up into the box, y'all. If you are in that queue, make sure that you're an American adult that supports Trump. What's going on, Vicky? Do you support Trump? Vicky's not here. Braden, man, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. That is incredibly kind of you. Everybody show some love to Braden down below in that comment section. Braden says, always looking forward to your lives, man. You and Parker always have me laughing. Keep doing what you're doing and making a difference. Much love, fam. Show some love to Braden down below. That is seriously so incredibly kind of you. As well as Megan. Megan, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. And I did see your message there. I will check it out. Let's get 250 Megan W's down below. As well as Afshan, thank you for the $4. Marquel with a $10, and Emmeline with a $5. Thank you so much. And then also, Casher, I just saw that you tried to send me $3 over on Cash App. So my Cash App is restricted. If you want to support me, feel free to do so on PayPal. Link in bio, but that money was returned to you. Welcome in, Nolan. Do you support Trump?
Oh, Dean Parker!
They got to hold like the #1 position for getting on this live.
They do. It's all the different accounts. It's the fact that they come up with new names too.
Yeah, they're really good at what they do. Hey, Bladen, what's up? Do you support Trump?
No.
Well, guys, if you're in that queue, make sure that you're MAGA, everybody. If you happen to be one of the 8,000 people watching on TikTok right now, guys, make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen, quite frankly, and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. Y'all already know the drill. Hell to the yes. What is going on, Ace? Are you MAGA?
Yes, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Okay. Well, you could just stop being MAGA if you think it's so unfortunate.
I fucking love you. I'm a big fan. No, I just wanted to take...
We are going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute, y'all. We got Charlo loading up into the box. Here we go, y'all. Once again, everybody, if you're an American adult that wants to come up and debate, let us know down below in that comment section. We'll get you loaded in here. Everybody, please just be patient while we're trying to get a debate going. I apologize for all the trolls in the queue. I really wish that you guys wouldn't do that. What's going on?
Tap that screen, like the stream, everybody. Let's get to 2 million fucking likes on the TikTok stream.
What's going on, Charlo? Do you support Trump?
Charlo, what's up, team?
Hey, what time is it?
It's 3 in the morning.
All right, everybody. I have 3 rules. They are very simple. If you are in the queue, you have to be from America, you have to be an adult, and you have to support Trump. Danny, thank you for the $5 over on Cash App. That was returned to you because my Cash App is down. So if you would like to support me, feel free to do so over on PayPal. All right, guys. If you are MAGA and you want to come up and debate, let us know in that comment section. We'll get you pulled up here. Really just looking for anybody. Just looking for anybody. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
All right. Phenomenal. Why is that?
What do you mean, why? Like,
what do I mean? Why?
Yeah,
okay,
like,
do you need me to... Okay, no. 1 second. I will go ahead and give you the definition
Jordan Peterson.
of why.
What do you mean by why?
Why definition. So why can be defined as primary use can be defined as such to inquire about reasons, causes, or purposes. So like when I say, why do you support Trump? In all reality, I'm inquiring about the reasons that you may support Trump. What
Are you an
caused
American
to support
citizen?
Trump? Or the purposes
Yes.
in which your support goes to
Are you
show.
an American citizen?
Yes.
So why do you not support Trump?
Yeah, I don't support Donald Trump.
No, don't
because
answer
in
it,
case-
Parker. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. I'm gonna be the big bad guy. You answer the question above my head. You weasel. Okay, all right. You got Parker, but you didn't get me. No. Tell us why you support Trump.
I support Trump because he's the president of the United States.
Okay, well, I mean, I think that I've already responded to this one a handful of times, but I'll respond to it again. I don't think that respect or support is granted on the basis of somebody being in a position of power. In fact, I think those that are in positions of power
So
have to
you
work
want
harder
him to
than those.
fail?
I think that those who are in positions of power have to work harder for respect and our support than those who are not. One hidden check and balance that exists inside of America, as well as every other democracy on the face of this planet, is populist support for a candidate, a president, or what that president opts to do. Okay, in the moment that we remove this accountability by evaluating what a president is doing to see if it's effective, to see if it's good, to see if it's bad, well, then we're basically empowering those in power to do whatever they want, even if it's not for the benefit of the people, right? That is why accountability is even more important for those in positions of power compared to those not in positions of power. So you just merely stating that you support him because he's president is
feel like
totally regressive to the function of a democracy, and totally regressive to what the constituents of a democracy are supposed to do to act in accordance of what is best for them by granting their support to people that help them and pulling their support away from people that hurt them.
Do you support Joe?
I
Did
feel
you
like
support?
you
Wait,
only
hold up, hold up. Did you support Joe Biden?
um I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't really know that much about Joe Biden.
Did you support him?
I mean, I just told you I didn't think I was like I knew enough, whether or not
Okay.
to like him
So,
or not.
so your answer to Parker's question was no. Now please respond to what I said.
I have a question. Do you like? I feel like for your career, like you just want Donald Trump to do bad.
Hold up.
So
You don't.
you
You're
have
not just.
more.
Wait.
So
I just
you
want to
have
clarify.
more
You're
stuff
not
to
just.
talk
Hold,
about.
hold up.
I feel
Hold up.
like you actually don't want like what's good for the country. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you make more money off of just Donald. I feel like
The only
honestly, I
person
feel
here,
like
the only
honestly,
person here that doesn't want what's good for the country is you, because you
how
literally support what's bad for this country.
how
Because you said that you
how
support him out of virtue of the fact that he's president. Do you think that presidents are
obviously
always good for the country?
what? It
Do you
doesn't
think
matter.
it
He's
does
gonna
matter?
so,
It
Jeff.
does matter because you just told me that I'm doing something wrong by apparently supporting what's bad for the country, but now you're sitting here telling me that you support Trump in virtue of the fact that he's president while acknowledging that presidents aren't always good for the
Dean,
country.
I want
So this
Dean.
means that you support things in virtue of something that is outside of their impact on America. I mean, let's think about it. Use your fucking brain here, bro. You told me that you're evaluative standard to either
I'm
support
using
or
my
not to support
brain. I
somebody.
use common sense. I use common sense, Dean. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to
Okay,
you.
this guy's rage baiting. You're rage baiting, right?
How am I rage baiting?
Because like you don't have a brain. Either you're seriously like you don't have a brain, or it's rage bait. I'm giving you
Well,
the
that's
benefit of the
kind.
doubt.
That's
He's-
kind of mean.
He literally said that he didn't support Joe Biden. He didn't have enough reason to support Joe Biden.
Yeah, is
But,
that
okay,
unreasonable,
but,
Parker?
Okay,
Is that
so
unreasonable?
then you obviously don't support
That's
Trump.
unreasonable.
So then you obviously don't support
Wow,
Trump.
that's unreasonable.
So you obviously don't support Trump just because he's president. In the same
I
way that you didn't
support Trump
support
because he's president.
Oh
because
my
I want.
God.
Okay, DJ. You said that you didn't have
I
enough.
want us to win.
You said that you didn't have enough reason to support Biden, even though Biden was president. So this means the fact that Trump is president doesn't give you sufficient reason to support him either. Okay, so what does give you sufficient reason to support Trump?
Do you think that the only bad? Do you think he only does bad things, Donald Trump?
After
Do
you
you think he does anything good?
After you answer my question, I'll answer yours. Once again, my
I'm
question
sorry.
was.
Can you repeat it one more time?
First, you said that you didn't have sufficient reason to support Biden, even though he was president. So this means that the fact Donald Trump is president doesn't give you a sufficient reason to support him either. So what is the sufficient reason that you possess to support Trump?
Well, yeah, I was younger when Joe Biden was president, so
Okay,
that's probably
that
why.
didn't change the fact that he was president.
Yeah, but I wasn't like learning about it, so it actually does change it because I just didn't
Okay,
care.
so then you're
really.
saying that there's other facts outside of the fact that President Trump or President Biden were president that make you support them. So what are these
Not
other
necessarily.
considerations that
It's
you've
just
learned about
different-
that make you support Trump?
I support Trump because he's the president, and I don't think that everything he does is. I don't think that everything that he does.
Joe Biden was president. You didn't
Okay.
support Joe Biden.
So,
Why?
So you don't support Biden, even though he was president, but you do support Trump because he's president.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I have a syllogism that I want you to follow. Okay. Premise number 1: Socrates is a man. Premise number 2: all men are mortal. What is the conclusion of this two-premise syllogism?
I don't understand this at all.
Right. No. For real, bro. Let me ask you a question. Can I have both 2 feet and 1 foot Only 1 foot simultaneously.
I don't think so.
Why?
Because it doesn't make sense.
Because it's a contradiction?
I guess.
Okay.
Just doesn't make
So,
sense.
so there's a contradiction in your view. The contradiction is you telling us that you didn't support Biden even though he was president, and you support Trump
I
because he's
told you
president.
why. It's not that I didn't support him because I don't like what he did. I wasn't paying attention. Like, what don't you
Were
understand?
you paying attention enough to know he was president?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so then the knowledge that Biden was president wasn't enough to make you support
Okay,
Biden.
then sure. I guess I supported him, yeah. But yeah, it's irrelevant. What does this have to do with
Okay, well,
anything?
well then I'll ask
Joe
you this
Biden's in
question.
the past.
Parker,
Joe Biden's
feel
in the
free
past.
feel free to
It's
say whatever you
irrelevant.
want. I'm gonna like this guy. Like,
Yeah,
seriously has,
yeah.
like,
One more
brain cells.
question, and then I'm about to kick him off. Then
Why are you
go
gonna kick
ahead.
me? What did I do that was wrong?
Because you're too stupid. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
Dean,
genuinely.
I'm definitely
So
smarter than you,
I
buddy.
have a question, DJ. That was crazy.
Dean, you sit on here debating like
DJ,
50-year-old single
wait,
men all day.
DJ. I have a question. At what degree in Fahrenheit does water freeze?
32.
Wow, actually, I
Holy
didn't expect that.
Holy fuck.
You're asking me like third grade level. Yo.
Okay, what's
I
6
think that
times
speaks-
6?
No, Parker. I think that speaks to your intelligence.
What
as a matter of
DJ?
fact.
What's 6 times 6?
36.
Holy shit.
I'm wow, dude.
No, no. This is so dumb because you're trying to make.
Can you
bad
spell
about
economy?
myself.
Can you spell economy?
I'm not doing this because you're trying to make me feel bad about myself.
Hold up.
for
I
no
just want.
reason in the
Real
middle of the debate.
quick. Can you spell economy?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, do it.
I don't want to do it. I'm not gonna lie. Spelling isn't my strong suit.
Don't worry, me neither, DJ. Yeah, we're gonna move on. Wow, dude, the guests today have been something else. I don't think that we've gotten like one guest so far today that's been like here for like a decent combo. I don't know like what's in the air, like what is going on today, but these people, man, have been rough so far today. Welcome in, Ashley. Do you support Trump? And Ashley is not here. Once again, if you're watching and you're like, hey, I like this Dean guy, I want to support him, you can find my PayPal in the link tree in my bio. I also got my Cash App down there, but don't do it to the Cash App. Oh, dude, why is this guy back? We're gonna kick him out pretty quickly after. I just wanted to say something to him real quick because we already talked to him the other day. I just want to say something to him real quick. Yo, give us a minute here. Yo, Kai.
Oh, okay.
I
love you, man.
I have a question. Why did you leave your last conversation so butthurt?
W gaslight. No, I'm joking. I'll be nice. I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you having me back on. I didn't think you'd bring me up.
It's
but I
only
appreciate
you're
it.
only
You're
gonna
real
be
for
up
that.
here for a moment. Then I'm gonna remove you. I just
Okay.
had to ask you because, like, seriously, man, think about it this way: you came onto the live, you made a ridiculous claim that birthright citizenship was somehow like controversial legally speaking. I mean, I corrected you.
That's not the only view he has.
Right.
This guy's from old political TikTok in 2020.
It wasn't
He's
even
a lunatic.
It wasn't even like that big of a Dean W. It was like a very typical like debate win. I don't know. It just wasn't anything special. And then you go on to say that like you'd find jokes about child rape funny, and then I kicked you. And then you went on Twitter and you were like, I own Dean in a debate. It's Kai, bro, please. Listen, I want more people in this country to be rational thinkers that aren't just absolutely insane. So I brought you back up literally just to tell you to stop being insane and just to start thinking rationally.
I'll do that. Okay. And you know what? I'm willing to concede. Maybe I was a little extreme. Maybe I was more hyperbolic than I should have been given the conversation. I'll admit that. I appreciate the censure, Dean, and I mean that seriously, not satirically or ironically. What I will say.
All right, Kai. We are going to go move on
He's
to the next
from
guest.
2020 political TikTok. He's a lunatic. He's like one of those alt-right people. Yeah, like
we're just gonna.
He's been off of TikTok for so long.
Listen,
I don't know what was the reason.
I appreciate you for like in any sense acknowledging that was nuts.
They don't want me.
That's a foot in the right direction, I guess. Okay, all right. At least like it's a foot in the right direction. Okay, let's go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, give us a minute. But if you're curious on why I kicked Kai out, it's because I had a conversation with him the other day. I try to only talk to one person one time. Everyone, just give us a minute here. What is going on? Do you support Trump? Kevin.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Kevin, how old are you?
I'm 15.
All right, goodbye,
not old
Kevin.
enough.
We are going to move on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. We got Max loading up into the box, y'all. If you happen to be part of the 7.5 thousand people in here, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen.
If you're on YouTube, do make sure to like the stream, everybody. It'll help get it out to more people. And
How
Dean
did
and I
DJ
stream. Make sure to like the stream.
How did DJ get back?
And if you're new here, if you haven't already, make sure to follow. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Following and subscribing is one of the best ways to help send out the content more.
Hey, Max, you MAGA?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
23.
All right. What about you, Chase? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
All right. What year are you born in?
2007.
Cool. We're going to do a quick 1v2. Sorry, no, 2v2. Sorry. But real quick before we do, Carry On. Thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal, man. Carry On said, I knew it was going to be BS from the moment he came up. Absolutely, Carry On. I appreciate you for the $10. As well as I'd like to quickly thank Landon for the $10 over on PayPal. Landon says, thank you for debating these Trump supporters. They don't even know much about Trump is going to add to the deficit. Yeah, $4 trillion with one bill if it passes. Thank you for the $10, Landon. Christian, good to see you. Thank you for $5. I really appreciate you so much for the love, Christian. As well as...
What's up, Christian?
Alyssa. Alyssa with the $20 over on PayPal. I want to see at least 200 Alyssa W's down below in that box. A comment section, my apologies. But Alyssa says, thank you for re-educating these MAGA airheads. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Alyssa. You guys are being incredibly kind today. Thank you, everybody, so much for the love, as well as Laurel with the $5 over on PayPal. No message left, just the love. Thank you, Laurel. Now, take it away, you two. Tell us why y'all silly gooses support Trump.
Because
Cookie King mugs the...
He said HS 2028. Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Dude, he's like 13. Moving on. Here we go, everybody. Give us a minute. We're going to get that next guest up the box. Y'all, we got Astro Kid loading into the line. Phenomenal. Great. We probably have about another 30 minutes left on live before we hop off. And then hopefully actually, guys, I might be live later tomorrow. So keep that in mind, Parker. I might be live around 3 to 4 your time tomorrow. Just because that's when I get my main account back. So you might want to keep that in mind for like figuring out your life schedule.
I'll go live early tomorrow.
Very nice. Getting it worked out. Adam! Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. Guys, show some love to Adam down below in that chat. Well, we're getting that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box. Adam, man, that is incredibly kind of you. Adam says, go Dean, remind everybody of the human element in all of this. Immigration, reproductive rights, healthcare policy, foreign policy, etc. You're the man. Couldn't agree more, Adam. Thank you so much for the love and the very kind message. Show some love to Adam down below in that comment section while we're working on getting that next Trump supporter up here. As well as Maria, thank you for the $5. And Maya, thank you for the $5. Maya says, I don't know how you stay sane debating these lunatics. I don't. That's why I took a day off. It was very needed. I touched grass and I felt like a normal person for 24 hours. Hello, Clara. Do you support the maniac Trump?
Yeah, I would like to apologize actually because I was on here like 3 days ago and I lied and I'm actually liberal, but you're kind of cute and I like to argue with cute guys.
Dude, okay.
That's crazy.
Bye, Clara. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute here, y'all. Make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Hello, Danny. Do you support Trump?
Yeah,
Danny. How old are you?
I do. I'm 18.
No way.
I'm 18. See, it's like even like my deep voice is like even like my regular voice is a bit deeper than that, so I can't even do it. I'm 18. Yeah, I gotta go up in pitch a little bit. I'm 18. I'm 18. You know what? How about this? I appreciate the initiative. Okay, all right, but don't do it. Don't do it. Not until you're older, man. Gotta be 18. Seriously. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Jason?
Yes, I do, buddy.
All right, Jason. We'll have a good conversation. Before we do, Linda, thank you for the $20 donation over on PayPal. Linda says, keep up the great work. I say, thank you. That's incredibly kind of you. Shout out to Linda down below. Thank you. Seriously, so much, Linda. You're incredibly kind. All right, take it away, Mr. Jason. Why do you support the man, the myth, the failure?
The
Donald
man,
Trump.
the myth, the failure. I mean, you can't be a failure. Look at the stock market, buddy. The stock market is up all times high, buddy. All times high. The highest we have ever seen in this country. This is what I voted for, buddy. The economy booming. Gas is cheaper. This is what I love, buddy.
Right. No, man. I definitely feel you. So the trajectory of the stock market over the course of the last 3 months has been very negative, and it is only in the last week that it has been finally able to break past the point at which it was at when Donald Trump was inaugurated. So I don't think that this all-time high is something to celebrate because of the lows that we've experienced that came in tune. Now, would you mind telling me what Donald Trump did to cause that all-time high in the stock market?
Look, I think the terrorists have gave us immense, money back to our country that we have been losing under the Biden administration.
Is this who I think it is?
No, it's not. Hey, bro, I gotta stop snitching in the chat, bro. Oh my
Actually,
God,
I didn't look. I promise, I didn't even look at the chat. I didn't even look at the chat.
Oh, is this that one guy?
Yeah, like he knows Chris or Connor.
No, he did that pretty well. That he did that voice pretty well. I won't lie. He was a big troll. Big troll, guys. Big troll. Moving on. All right, we're gonna try to get that next debate going up on here. Everyone, just give us a minute. Welcome in, Mr. Entrepreneur.
Hello. How are you doing?
Do you support Trump?
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. All right, as an entrepreneur, why the hell do you support the guy that is actively making it harder for small businesses to get their feet off the ground and reducing economic mobility through aggressive tax policy?
Well, I'll put it simple for you. You said small businesses. Ha ha ha. I run big businesses.
Right, but you started running a small business, right?
Well, actually, I took over my parents' company.
Oh, you're a troll. Oh, you're either a troll or just a maniac. Which one is it?
I'm a billionaire.
You're a troll. Get out of here. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute, y'all, while we're loading in that next guest. Everybody, go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that chat, accompanied with your age, if you'd like to come up and have a debate. Yes, indeed. It's a troll. That's right. Somebody in my YouTube chat says cooking has diarrhea. Winston Sayer. You might be onto something there. Somebody needs to invest in this great mind. Hello, Allie. Do you support Trump?
Hey, can I just correct you on a minor fact?
Yeah, what now?
Really
correct
quickly,
me, Allie.
please. Okay. So one of your questions when you're trying to like weed out the fetuses is what is a W-2, right? And you're like, yeah, that's the form you fill out like when you go for employment. Actually, it's the W-4 that you fill out. The W-2 is the thing that you get at the end of the year.
You're right. That is
not that I think that the fetuses would know either or.
Dean's a fetus. Conclusion is Dean is a fetus.
Yeah, conclusion is Dean is a child. You know what, Allie? I'll take it. Thank you so much for letting me
All
know.
right. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Have a good
Appreciate
one.
you.
We're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Yeah, just got owned, guys. Just got absolutely owned. All right, guys. We probably only have time for around one more debate. We're going to move on. Here we go, everybody. Come up here, debate a fetus. Here we go. Dean's first ever loss. Got absolutely destroyed. Absolutely cooked.
Cadence,
Also,
think of the $10. Maya, think of the $5. Thank you so much. Nafi, think of the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you, WCW Venus. Absolutely. Jade, think of the $5. Ripsy, thank you so much for the $20. And Davo, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sorry.
no worries, man. Can we also quickly talk about how the Republicans on Twitter are just like have no media literacy whatsoever? If you guys use Twitter, in the last like 3 days, have you guys been seeing a clip of me like jokingly crashing out about the anxiety
It's
pin
not
going
just
around?
Twitter. It's not just Twitter. You know, Asmongold made a video, has almost 1 million on YouTube.
About it?
About it, yeah.
Bro, dude.
Dude, they think you're serious. They're fucking insane.
Wait, I gotta see this video. I didn't know that.
And by the way, happy birthday, Scarlet CK.
Is this real?
Yes, like I'm serious. I saw it literally before I went on live. Had like 900,000 views. And some people on TikTok are posting it. They're fucking crazy. The fact that they are posting that video as something to like discredit Dean based on shows you how fucking little they have. That's insane, isn't that? It's
just-
obviously you being. It's obviously you joking and being like, it's an obvious joke. If they can't identify that's an obvious joke, like what's wrong with them? Like, this is actually funny for them. This is like we should be laughing at them because they're so insane for doing this.
Wait, where's the Asmongold Gold video?
I swear it's I look at Asmongold Gold clips or something.
I know, I'll find it. Anyways, we're gonna try to get that next guest up in here. I just think it's absolutely hilarious. I just think it's absolutely fucking funny. Oh, you're right, dude. It's a picture of me screaming into the mic with 954 saying you can't make this shit up.
In 15 hours, 954K views on our end. That means it has like 1.4 million views at least.
Dude, can we listen to this real quick?
Yes.
I'm sorry that I have anxiety. Okay, and honestly, yeah, it is kind of the fault of people like you that want to come up here and bully and berate me over something that I don't do.
Just for context, Dean Withers is the biggest political progressive TikToker and sometimes referred as the bro whisperer. Now he's mad because during a debate about Trump, some viewer called his anxiety pen a vape.
Okay, so cut the shit. It's not a vape. All right, it's an anxiety pin, and God, the amount of times that I've asked you to respect me and respect my anxiety pin is, at this point, getting.
Is this real? Like, there's no way this is real, right? I mean, like, this has got to be like.
Yeah, it's not fucking real. Okay, thank you.
A meme. I mean,
ridiculous, Kodia. So please
justify. Crash out
for the final and
I literally say justify crash out.
You please just respect the fact that it's not a vape and that it's an anxiety pen.
Yo, you really got me.
Get the fuck. Just
for this.
Get the fuck out.
Get him out.
I hate women.
Oh man, I don't even know what's real and what's not. Like, I don't. I legitimately don't even know if this is real or not. But this guy doesn't. But I don't. Oh God, I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin.
Because I need it.
Don't worry, guys. I know the perfect person to calm this dude.
Oh my God. Oh my dude. Yeah, let's read through the comment sections real quick. The first one says, respect my anxiety pin is something that Cartman would say in a woke alternate South Park universe. The second one is, this is the sound of a teenager who's never faced adversity in his life being met with mild resistance. Dude, with 11,000 likes, I can't believe that they think that's real. One of them says, seems his pin is faulty. I like that. I'm actually going to like that one. Oh man, no. I got to stop doing that.
No, keep doing it. That's fucking hilarious. The fact that they can't realize that that's a joke is so fucking funny. The fact that they think that's a real crash out.
I could just, man, you know, it was a good joke for a long time, dude. It was a great joke for a long time, but now the conservatives have gotten hold of it and they're taking it seriously. That is something else. Let me tell you. That's so fucking funny. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Back to the debates. Where are we at?
It's so funny that how it was a joke for a while and like everyone knew it was a joke until conservatives got a hold of it.
Yeah, man. It's such an L. Hello, Jaden. Do you support Trump?
You hear me?
Yeah. Do you support Trump?
No, I just want to show off my tattoo. But you turn.
Would you kick him? Would you kick him real quick, Parker? Kick him,
Yeah.
please. Kick him. Oh, he's actually just showing his tattoo. Okay, Jaden, never do that again. Never do that again. I understand that you just literally wanted to show us a tattoo on your arm, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, moving on to the next guest. Here we go. That was crazy. He just actually wanted to show a tattoo. What the fuck? Okay. All right, man. We're gonna go and move on. Never do that again, though. Holy cow. What's going on? Do you support Trump and AAP?
Can you debate my dad?
Is he there?
I don't really do that anymore.
Hello?
I just get scared that the parents will take it out on the children if I get them upset. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zach, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much, Zach. I really appreciate YouTube super chat. Thank you.
How old are you?
23.
23. Phenomenal. Well, we're going to go let you take it away now. Before I do, real quick, Sid, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. Let's get 250 Sid W's. Sid says, could you please spam heart on all of the comments on the video? It would be so funny. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to give him a reply. Thank you for the love, Sid. Show some love to Sid down below in that chat. And Aaron, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
I think he's a good president. I think he, how do I say it? Well, I think recently on Iran, I think he did a good job. I think I'm trying to think what else I would say. I think he's trying to make the economy better by immigration. I would say a lot of people who are immigrants are taking up most of the money, especially in California. He's trying to send them away, meaning like the people who send money, or they're basically, how do you say it? No. So more jobs for the Americans because he's trying to look out for the American people. You get what I'm saying?
Wrong. Because if you decrease the size of the population, you have less people demanding for goods and services. You reduce then the incentive for suppliers or businesses to increase the amount of laborers they have, so they can meet that level of service.
But he's
Does that
looking
make
out for
sense?
the American people.
No, that doesn't look out for the American people. Actually, since tariffs have been imposed on Donald Trump's administration and even paused, right, that has led to a 0.3% decline in real GDP, which is GDP accounting for inflation, after several quarters of multiple percentage points real GDP growth. Right. Also, we saw real wages decline after we had 4 quarters of real wage growth, real median wage.
Well, we have to look in the future. And I do think, how do you say it? I mean, he's looking out for his people, no? So
How? In what way?
Oh no.
Well, through immigration, because like they're here illegally. Because why are they going to be here illegally? You get what I mean? So,
Because our legal process takes too long. So we should incentivize people to go through the legal process by making it significantly faster.
Oh no.
Well, how about this? Tell me why.
Dean, what are you reading?
No, I just tweeted out. It's a goddamn anxiety pin in all caps. Take it away.
That is
sorry.
so fucking funny.
Sorry for detracting.
I never heard of anxiety. Oh, whatever.
Dean, that's gonna go so viral. I hope you know that. That's gonna get like 20 million views.
20 million. That's right. Okay. Take it away.
I say Dean gets
Hey,
20 million.
Parker, tell me why Trump is a bad president.
Oh, yeah, because he's advocating for a policy right now that's going to cut Medicaid by $880 billion over the next 10 years, along with the fact that it's going to cut food stamps by $300 billion. He's also passed policies specifically that have harmed women in terms of their rights and access to abortion, because he's put multiple people in the Supreme Court with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade, which has led to a reduction in people's access to abortion in plenty of states, even in instances in which they've been sexually assaulted.
You're pro-abortion?
I think that people should be able to get access to abortion, absolutely.
But there's a decline in birth rates.
So I think, so then why don't you satisfy the fact that there's a declining birth rate in hiring immigration?
No, that's not the point. The point is that there's a decline in birth rates, meaning like there's not a lot of people who are getting, they're having children.
So you want to force like teenagers to have children?
I never said that. All I'm saying.
You understand that that's if you can't get access to an abortion, right, then you're going to be forced to go through that pregnancy, correct? So
yeah.
You're saying you want to force people to go through pregnancies, right, so
I
that
never
you can
said
have
that.
more children.
I never said that. All I said was there's a decline of birth rates, meaning that only poor people are having children. And I'm not saying you're telling me that I want to force people to go through pregnancy. I never said that. All I'm saying is that there's a decline in birth rates, meaning pro-abortion. I would think it's bad because we need to populate the earth. You get what I'm saying? So, better terms. I'm trying to put in.
What the fuck is wrong? So you want to force people to go through pregnancy?
Okay, first of all, I never said force. I just want to dispute.
You want it to be illegal for them to end the pregnancy.
I just think abortion is bad. It's
So
basically
you think it should be illegal to end the pregnancy, correct?
I mean, I can't really dictate anything because I just think abortion is bad, because if you have a child, I just don't think as a mother you shouldn't terminate your child by making a bad decision. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not disputing the fact.
You keep saying it's a bad decision without providing a reason why.
I just don't think it's a good idea to abort your child.
Why not?
Because there's a decline in birth rates. And I think women have obligation.
I have a question. Is it wrong that I don't have a child right now?
No.
Like I can have a child.
Yeah, you can.
Is it wrong that I don't currently go and have a child?
No.
Is it wrong that I'm not donating sperm because that would increase birth rates?
No.
If everyone just if do you think that every guy should just go do that because it would increase birth rates?
No, all I'm saying is populate your country. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying that there's a decline in birth rates. That's all I'm really saying.
Okay, so then what are you arguing people should have to do in order to be able to?
I'm not saying they should have to do anything. I'm just disputing or I'm giving my opinion that I just think abortion is bad. And
Okay, okay, I have a question. If
yeah.
there's a declining birth rate, right, wouldn't like a way to be able to satisfy the fact that there's a declining birth rate be by allowing people to immigrate to the country to a higher degree in order to satisfy the fact that there are less younger people that would be able to work to be able to provide social services for the same level of benefits that have existed for Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid in the prior years?
Wait, repeat the last part. I didn't hear that.
I'm saying, like, wouldn't you want to engage in more immigration specifically so that you can satisfy the fact that there are less young people, right, to pay for people who are older on social services such as Medicare, Medicaid, and whatnot? Because a higher amount of people who are in the labor force who are younger would be able to pay for those different types of programs and satisfy any offsets that are negative to the population and to the economy, specifically from there being a population crisis related to birth rates.
So you're saying that it's bad for people to have kids while they're young, or you think?
No. I said that you can specifically get rid of the negative impacts caused specifically by a population crisis due to fertility rates in terms of the effect on social services, in terms of the benefits, by specifically applying immigration at a higher level.
Oh, okay. I mean, shit. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't understand, but
What did you not understand? And I'll explain
you
it.
said immigration. So immigration about abortion. What does immigration have to do with the
Fiona,
abortion?
thank you so much for the $30 over on PayPal, guys. Can we get 300 Fiona W's down below? Fiona.
Wait, Parker, I
Alexa,
got a
thank you
question.
so
If
much.
you were president of the
Speaking
United
of which, Callie, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $30 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really
Parker, I got a
appreciate that.
question. If you
Absolutely.
were
I'll make sure to look at that. And Nelia, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $2. Thank you. Go ahead.
if you were president of the United States, what would you do to make your country great again?
What would
Just
I do to make the
hypothetical.
country a better place? I like how he's completely pivoting from everything else, but I would specifically advocate for universal healthcare policy, childcare policy, housing affordability policy to a greater extent. I think those things would be incredibly beneficial. I would extend paid family leave and maternity leave and paternity leave, right, to help like families. I would expand the child tax credit. There are plenty of things. Invest in infrastructure and high-speed rail and renewable energy production.
Yeah, that's a lot of things. I mean, shit. Yeah, it's good points. But there will always be like people against you.
What do you mean?
There's always Republicans and or conservatives, liberals, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I
So how about you make less people against me by coming onto my side?
By convincing them, debating them, basically what you guys are doing.
No, I said, how come you don't do that? Make it easier for me to get to those particular policies by changing your mind.
Say that one more time.
Make it easier for us as a society to be able to get to those particular types of goals that I just mentioned by believing in those same things yourself, believing that we should do those things, changing your mind. Because if you change your mind, right, along with other people changing their minds, that will make us even closer to that point.
Yeah, I get it. It's like really like I'm not big on political, so it's like hard. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's good points. I agree.
Okay, so you've changed your mind? You
No,
wouldn't
I mean,
support Donald Trump?
I still like Trump. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
I
why?
just think that he's a good. I think just.
I'm just giving this last debate to Parker. Honestly, I'm checked out. I drove like 3 hours today. It's been a long couple days, so I'm checked out.
You can get off if you'd like.
No, I will after you're done talking to him down here. I just wanted to give
you can kick him.
this last debate.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
See you later, pal. Real quick, Alba, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. And Daniel with the 10. Show some love to Alba and Daniel down below in that chat. Thank you guys so much. You are phenomenal. Seriously. Now, hey, for everybody watching the live stream, I am going to go to an end for the day. It has been a great day. Now, tomorrow evening, around 4 p.m. Mountain, which is 3 p.m. Pacific, or 5 p.m. Eastern, I will be back on live on my main account doing the debates as per usual, which is great. But for tonight, we are going to go ahead and hop off, but I will see you tomorrow. Andrew, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Parker, I'd assume that you're going live?
Yep, I'm going live right now.
Okay, well, if you want some debates for the rest of the evening, head over to Parker Get a Job if you're on TikTok, and at Parker Get a Job if you're on YouTube. Really, wherever you're at, if you could hear my voice, just go to at Parker Get a Job, and you'll find this guy doing debates for another handful of hours. Now,